It's time for the kickoff.
Let's do it.
Let's get started. 3, 2, 1. What is good, my friends, and welcome back to the official Flash Brothers podcast.
Welcome in, everyone.
My guys, today marks season 3, episode 40.
That's right.
I am so blessed
Episode
to be here.
40 is
Episode
such
40,
a crazy
man.
sounding time.
I know.
Episode
Every
40.
like those increments of 5 in my brain are always like the most significant.
Right.
You know what I mean? For like
Yeah,
anything,
of
right?
course.
Yeah, so we're just climbing. It's awesome, man.
agree.
It's been
We are
about, we talked about
climbing
it in
for sure.
pregame, but it's been about 9 months since we started the podcast.
That is right.
Let's see how this unfolds today. I'm really excited to take you on this journey today.
I'm more excited.
Joshy, fuck yeah. And our audience, we are recording, today is Tuesday, May 28th.
That is
We're about
right.
to wrap up this. Dude, we're almost at June, which is like month 6 of the year.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, bro.
Yeah.
I feel like this year has actually flown the hell by.
It absolutely has.
It's
I was
been
just talking
wild.
about it with Blado, just how much it's passed. Just
Dude.
quickly going by,
Yes.
flying,
man.
flying for
Let's
sure.
introduce ourselves
Please
real
do.
quick here. Joshy, my name is Sam,
What's
or
up, Sam?
Sammy, whatever you want to call me.
Whatever.
I am joined today by the Star Warrior, my first mate himself. It is my brother, roommate,
up,
best
baby?
friend, Joshy.
What's up, y'all?
How we doing? The legendary Joshy.
We are chilling, my
We are
man.
chilling,
We
bro.
just finished a fantastic pregame.
We did.
If you guys don't know what that is, it's our preliminary show.
That's right.
That precedes this episode. So there's always an episode that comes out a day before,
Yeah,
right? Which
check
means
it out.
It comes out Friday.
On Friday.
Yeah.
Yep, so it'll be coming out this upcoming, it's like...
Well, it already came out by the time that was.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
It's
So
gonna be
we
out
hope
by
you
now.
guys, if you're
Yeah, but it
interested,
was
check that out.
It was a deep one. It was a really fun one.
It was really
so
good.
I'm
Yeah,
glad-
actually, the
glad we got
deepest
to.
we've probably gone on
Probably
the
one
podcast at all.
One of.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll be taking command on today's voyage as the captain, my man. You know, captain has such a different meaning for me right now because of 7 Deadly Sins. I have to say,
Oh,
bro.
yeah?
It is. I'll just jump right into it real
Captain.
quick. Bro, yes, like the relationship with Bon and Meliodas, that's you and me, has been since the beginning, right?
Right.
And how Meliodas presents himself, holds himself, with everything that unfolds of his backstory. It's like this amazing, very unique journey, right?
agree.
Unfolding this character. So we just hit.
Oh yeah. I was gonna ask.
We're on like episode 3 now of season 4.
Of season 4.
Which is now going into,
Joel and
Gloxenia.
Gloxinia's,
Yes, dude.
Memory backstory. That's one of the most interesting memory flashbacks I've seen ever. And I love it.
I love the way that it's handled.
Me too.
Yeah.
I think it could have been handled wrong if it was done by a less talented mangaka.
Right.
But no, it's really, really compelling, and it's at the same time being information for us. At the same time, it's a test for King and Diane.
Yeah.
And also
the dynamic we have is the same as King and Diane. They have no idea what's going on.
Right.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
As the viewer, you don't know what's happening. You see Meliodas from, 3,000 years ago?
3,000 years
And then
ago.
you see Elizabeth, and you
Yes.
see all this shit, and you're like, holy
dude.
shit.
And
did you see... How much have you seen of the...
Only the first 2 episodes, but the title of the season is literally called Imperial Wrath of the Gods.
Yes.
Okay? And so this is going to be like semi-spoilers ahead, or major spoilers, honestly, for
That's
7
also
Deadly
the name
Sins.
of season 4.
That is season 4.
I know. It's the
Yeah.
name of it.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
I thought you were
that's what I'm
saying episode 3 was called...
Oh, no. The season is called Imperial Wrath of the Gods, right? And it's like, oh, what is that, right? And then the introduction of Ludociel in episode 2 is like such a crazy thematic twist.
Is so...
It just goes along with everything we've been talking about.
I want to say he's a demon, but he's not.
But he's not.
Yeah, that's the crazy part.
It's nuts.
I think
and then
all of them are so crazy.
it is actually mind-blowing to me. Masterful storytelling that I am able to like retain so much information and so much care in you. By the point in this story, you truly don't even know really who is like a true villain.
Who's the bad guy and who's the traditional
Who
good
is
guy.
actually like even Fraudrin at the end of season 3. Like it's like
absolutely
you really find
see his
out
heart.
You see his heart. You see a lot of his emotion come out of he felt betrayed by Meliodas, and that's why he did what he did.
Right.
It's not just I'm a demon, so I'm evil.
So I'm evil. There's that involved, but also all his stuff with what's the Grimoire? He basically switching in and out of what's his name?
Dreyfus.
Yes. Such a good name.
Dude,
all
the
good
names. Yes.
Switching in and out of them, he partially raised Grimoire. And so seeing him, he's not a heartless monster. Right. He's not. He's doing these things because he believes they're right.
Yes.
And he feels like he deserves revenge. He feels backstabbed. And so you see that at the end when Grimoire.
Fraudrin.
Yeah. No, I mean, I was talking about Fraudrin.
Oh, yeah.
When Grimoire goes up to him and is basically like, please stop, right?
Yes,
and he's like, I can't say no to my son. Like, I can't, like, put this kid in harm's way. Like, I helped raise him, and I love him. And so he gives up at that. Oh, my God.
He says, I promise. Like, and it's like, I was even expecting, like, no one in the show is, like, afraid to fight dirty, okay?
Right.
But
absolutely.
he didn't. Like, he just let Meliodas kill him.
Yeah, that solidified Fraudrin is such a complex and interesting character for me because it's not just evil. It's not good versus evil. It's the complexity of this world and how all these characters get involved in it. It's so seriously incredible. If people haven't watched Seven Deadly, sorry for the spoilers, but forget everything we said. It is a must watch.
If anything, you should have watched it a long time ago because it's been out for a fat minute. Yeah. So if this compels you to watch it, I hope it does.
Yeah, and honestly, I started it without even the knowledge that it was going to get as good as it was. I kind of just started it.
And we like really talk about very like base level ideas and specific scenes.
Yeah.
Does not capture like the feeling of how good this is. Right?
It's one
Dude,
of the best.
The beginning episode of the season where literally that massive demon is coming after fucking Escanor. Right? And he's just standing there. And like for days, and he lifts up his hands and they just fall apart. What happened to my fists? And he's like, that was a pretty good back rub. I'd call it a mid-tier at best, you know? It just comes out. And he's
such a demon.
One slice, bro. It is. It's so good. Joshy, I have a lot planned today.
Yes.
So I think we should jump right into our pop topic.
Oh, yeah?
What do you say, brother?
Do you want me to catch up?
No, that is in the new structure of the show. We will get to catch up.
Okay.
However, before we do that, right after the intro and a little tidbit, we're jumping into Pop Topic, which is our new segment as of season 4.
Yes. Okay. I'm
today's Pop Topic, my friend, is brought to you by Caleb.
Ooh,
yes, sir. Yeah. So we're
guy.
jumping actually to Party Chat real quick.
do
A
it.
part of the new structure. I'm going to be sprinkling Party Chat in throughout the cast, and it's not going to be in a designated section.
Ooh.
So in last week's Spotify Q&A, we had it was about our Xenoblade, right?
Yes.
Of course. So the question I put on Spotify was, the Flash Bros talk enough about Xenoblade yet? With a winky face. Okay? Kind of just instilling, like, do you want more? Or, like, what do you think? Or whatever. And Caleb responded. And he threw in, yes, when are you guys going to cover Croc, the Legend of the Gobos? So,
Croc.
Joshy, have you heard of this game? Croc.
Is that the N64 one?
I think it was a 64 game. I think it originally came out in PlayStation.
Oh, was it? Okay, then maybe it wasn't on the N64. Maybe it was only on PlayStation.
I have it pulled up right here. Let's actually jump into this. Our pop topic today, Joshy, is Pop Retro Recap, my man. So, throwing in this game brought to you by Caleb today. It first came out in North America September 29th, 1997 on PlayStation.
Yes.
And then it came to Sega Saturn and Microsoft Windows.
There you go.
So I guess that answers your question there. Yeah. A little
Saturn.
tidbit about it, because I've only seen like a picture of this.
Yeah.
Caleb might even have it, so I might have even like, remember I told you it's got like a bunch of games, right? So I might have even picked it up and just looked at it and be like, what is this game?
Yeah.
But I got the Wikipedia pulled up, and we're just going to kind of, little tidbit, and we're going to learn today what Croc, The Legend of Gobos is all about. It is a platform game developed by Argonaut Software. That's a dope developing
That is a really
studio.
cool name.
Yeah, I love that. Published by Fox Interactive, actually, and distributed by 20th Century Fox Home Entertainment in North America and Electronic Arts internationally on PlayStation, Saturn, and Windows.
Wow.
Taking place in the fictional setting of Gabo Valley, Croc, Legend of the Gobos follows a young crocodile named Croc who sets out to rescue a group of furry creatures known as Gobos from the evil magician Baron Dante.
No.
Yes, sir.
Kind of a sick name for the main villain.
Yeah. And so there is actually a small tidbit about Nintendo. Okay. So maybe you read about this or something, or heard about it from some backstory.
Yeah, I'll explain
some
after
lore.
how I know about this.
So this is from the Wikipedia, okay? Yeah. The game initially started development shortly following a successful relationship between Argonaut and Nintendo. Okay. With the former creating a processing chip for the Super Entertainment System called the Super FX that was used for games such as like Star Fox. Right. So that was like the first real 3D graphics, right? To display 3D polygonal environments. It was first pitched to Nintendo as a prototype for a 3D platform game in which the player controlled Yoshi from the Super Mario series. All right? But ultimately was rejected by Nintendo, ending the relationship and prompting Argonaut to retool the game as an original property. The game's characters and mechanics were designed by Simon Keating in his first ever video game project. Wow. And the rest is history. I will say it has received positive reviews from the critics.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, that's all I really got for you.
Well, so do you know what Oni Plays is?
That sounds so familiar.
So Oni and G was an animator back in the day. He made classics like Leo and Satan. Do you ever hear about that one? It was on Newgrounds. He was a Newgrounds animator. So he made I don't think I did. He made a bunch of did like a couple Dragon Ball Z parodies. I watched him growing up. Him and Psychic Pebbles, who is his real name is Zach Hader, is one of the co-creators of this new show Smiling Friends, which I am obsessed with. So I've been following Oni and G since Newgrounds and Zach Hader through their entire like journeys with YouTube, because they're good friends, and actually Zach is one of the people in Oni Plays. Okay. So he's one of the people who they play through games, and they are the funniest. I'm not kidding. They are the funniest Let's Players out there. They are barely even Let's Players. They're more like just like guys doing Oni jokes.
Yeah, I'm gonna write
Oni
that down.
Plays. ONEY Plays. It is the best. The best.
Best Let's Plays.
Best Let's Plays out there, and I'm a huge fan. I watch a lot of Let's Players. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Game Grumps.
Yeah, I used to watch a lot back in the day.
Yeah, so they just play games, and they're the funniest guys ever. They played through all of Croc. So I've watched a decent amount of this game, Croc. And I knew about the character Croc. I thought it was on the N64.
Yeah, sure.
I just because of the graphics, right?
Definitely. It looks like a 64
It does. It looks kind of like a...
you ever see, like, Chameleon Twist?
I don't know if I did.
That game?
You know Gex?
Yes.
Gex?
Yes, dude. Yeah,
that's
just
like
thinking. Gex.
Like Gex.
Gex was on both, I think.
It might have been.
Yeah, or there was a different version or something.
I think it was on N64, or there was probably a different version.
I definitely played it. I didn't really grow up with the PlayStation, so...
me neither.
Yeah, I played on the 64.
Yeah. So,
Chameleon Twist, though.
Yeah, huge respect to Croc, and huge respect to Oni Plays for introducing that. And then if anyone hasn't seen the new Adult Swim show, Smiling Friends, the second season is coming out right now. There are 4 episodes out as of now. And it's the funniest show out right now, like no question,
dude,
at all. It's if you enjoyed.
How long ago were they conceived?
Probably like 2 years ago.
Oh,
wow. The show was, yeah.
Okay.
That was when the first season came out, but it just exploded in popularity because it's It's Michael Cusack and Zach Hadel.
Okay.
And they're two internet personalities with like a pretty different sense of humor, but they both do like online animations, and coming together, the humor is just incredible. It's literally like what I've said, where really successful huge companies that are trying to make adult animation right now are not really hitting. The biggest are probably Rick and Morty and maybe Bob's Burgers, but even those are like, they're kind of taking a back seat to the modern generation of these Newgrounds animators who have a show on Adult Swim. It's like the most popular show, animated adult show right now.
Yeah.
And it feels different than other animated adult shows. It's not cynical. It's not like, I don't know. Anyway, I have a lot of good things to say about Zach Hadel and even Michael Cusack, but Oni Plays.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah. Shout out Oni Plays for showing off Croc, and if you want to watch it, it's a hilarious playthrough.
Yeah, okay.
So
Thank you,
funny.
Joshy. I will say, too, I also found the page. I forgot I had it also pulled up on Moby Games. So the critic score is 77.
It's not bad.
Across the board. So that is pretty damn good.
Those are pretty good. It reminds me of the era when everyone was trying to have a mascot, right?
Yes.
It was like, it was a little bit after like Bubsy, but like,
Bubsy.
Literally like even like fast food chains and like soda, like 7-Up trying to have the dot. You remember that? All those like mascot characters because of Mario and Sonic. Yeah, the dot. The red dot with he's got the shades, and then he has like the Sonic gloves. You remember him? Dude, he's 7-Up's. I'm gonna show you a picture.
Yeah, please show me. Kool-Aid Man.
It was basically during that time. Hold on. Maybe he's not called the Dot, but the Spot. That's what it is.
The Spot.
Or he's called Spot.
No.
That's him right there.
No, I definitely don't remember that guy at all.
He had a couple video games, and then he was in all those commercials.
There's literally 7-Up proudly presents Spot.
Yes. So that was their logo because 7-Up is the it has that spot right there.
Yeah.
So everyone was trying to make. So that was when like the era of Gex.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
That's
vibe
silly.
of like just everyone was trying to make a Sonic.
Everyone.
Or a Mario.
I do know, Joshy. Now we are here. It's time for our rendezvous, my friend.
Let's rendezvous it.
Let's rendezvous it, baby. What's been new?
Well, obviously,
I
spoke a little bit pre-game.
That's right, precast.
Precast about.
You're talking about the monkeys?
No, I was gonna say Xenoblade. I haven't mentioned that at all yet.
No, you haven't. Yeah, because we're gonna talk about that really in pregame.
Yes.
But you can talk about it here if you want to.
Well, I don't think we talked about it pregame.
No, we didn't because pregame completely took off in just a direction about deep shit, and I loved it. Yeah,
I loved it too.
Yeah.
So obviously, I'm still playing that. It is peak. That whole the way it's all structured is genius. It's the best I think Xenoblade has ever been, and that's not even including the story elements where you have Aegis is at play while also dealing with the Minato and Alvis, and also everything from Xenoblade 3, Agnes, and it is the culmination of all these games all into one, and it is incredible. It's incredible seeing Rex and Shulk as adults with their I love Rex's new voice, and I love that they had Shulk as the same voice actor kind of doing a different take on it, right?
Yes, bro.
Almost like an old master style of voice acting. It's genius because if you got the same guy who did Rex, it would just feel silly because he's a kid. Yeah, he sounds like a kid. And so that new voice actor, and one thing I did some research on because obviously I'm obsessed with Xenoblade.
Absolutely.
Is that every time someone is related to another, or in this situation Rex, they choose the same dialect, person who speaks the same dialect as the person before him. So Rex is, I don't remember what he is, maybe Scottish or something.
Yeah, I felt like it, and that's what we talked about before the podcast started. It's almost like a Scottish twang.
Yeah, so he, the new voice actor is also Scottish, and
maybe it's Australian.
It's not Australian.
It's not?
No, it ain't. It couldn't be Australian.
Australian.
I think it's Scottish or something related to that. But in the same way that they did that with a huge one for me, which is why I'm very much believing that Mio is the daughter of Nia.
Sure.
Nia's voice actress was Welsh. That's why she's got that thick.
It's so thick. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's like, what the hell does he think he is? You know what I mean? That kind of thick then. The actress for Mio is also Welsh. So they don't always use Welsh. They use it for Nia and now Mio, and it's the return of the Welsh.
And, they also look similar.
Yes, they do, and also that goes with also the fact that Glimmer is an American accent. And she sounds just like Pyra's daughter. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Well, we know for a fact that's Pyra's daughter. But it's like they got an actress to almost like sound. I thought at first maybe it was the same actress, and it's not. It's just someone who's doing such a good impression.
That's good to know, because I actually didn't look it up, but I felt like she sounded just like
She
Mithra.
sounds just like... yeah, she sounds like a mix of both of them. But it's the same actress for Pyra and Mithra. So she's doing this
but like like
impression
there's like Mithra almost has like the more serious tone, and Pyra's like a more soft.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And so that was
That's
really
crazy.
good. And then same thing for what's his name? What's Shulk's son's name?
Shit. I can't remember.
I can't remember either. Anyway, they got the same dialect for him, and they made sure of it.
And his demeanor too.
Those little details are the kind of details that make me appreciate the series so much more, because it goes beyond just what Takahashi's doing. It's the care that the English voice actors and the whole dubbing section really have for the series. Yes. So with all that aside, I haven't played much more at all, but I'm just as hooked as I was.
Can I ask, I want to know, relative to what I think I remember is that, how there's like the areas that it separates like the Collectopedia? Mm-hmm. I think I'm at the 4th.
Well, then we'd be at a pretty close area.
Yeah.
I just finished up most of the stuff at Colony 9, and I was doing a bunch of like side quests and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I just got to the spot with all
Colony 9's like home base in that world, right?
It is, yeah. But then there's a bunch of like temples on the side of the wall. Do you remember that? Is that something you just got to?
I don't remember.
I'm definitely.
I don't remember. Yeah, like exactly where I was at, like story wise or like thematically.
You should restart it.
I'm going to.
Dude.
Yeah,
it's so peak. So I'm loving every second of it.
I might do what you did, where I just fast track through the story and then
that
get to
like
where I'm
for
at,
Xenoblade 3.
I was grinding out the quests and all in the Collectopedia like so much.
The thing about Xenoblade is even if you try that, you'll get so sucked in that you will end up doing everything. So the perfect plan is just run that story, because you will not miss details that you want to hear. Especially with this one, there's not much you could miss unless you're completely ignoring affinity scenes, which are like some of my new favorite parts of the whole game.
They're awesome.
Literally confirmations for like so much really cool stuff.
Yes, bro.
Like Shulk talking with, what's his name? What the fuck is his name? I
can't remember.
I need to look it up. I'm sorry.
Remind me, those affinity scenes, it's kind of like Xenoblade 1
it's
style,
like heart
right?
to heart.
Heart to heart,
basically.
Right?
It's basically
and
like...
those aren't in the base Xenoblade 3, right? Or are they?
No.
They're not.
Affinity scenes are completely new.
Yeah,
too.
okay. That's what I thought.
I'm gonna look.
Which is so sick that they brought even that back.
Nicole.
Yeah.
Nicole.
Yeah.
So that scene where him and Nicole are talking at that one spot where Fiora would bring him sandwiches, and he's talking about Fiora.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I probably wouldn't be here if it weren't for you, or if it weren't for her, and you probably wouldn't be either. And Nicole's like, what? And he's like, oh, don't worry about it. And then later, when they're at Dunban's house, there's the affinity scene where Shulk's like, yeah, one of my old friends used to live here, and Rex is like, I thought you told me it was your brother-in-law. Well, yeah, he was a mentor, and he was, my friend, and he was also became my brother-in-law. Just that kind of confirmation of, like, where these characters have gone, in the same way that at the end of Xenoblade 3, you see Rex having 3 wives, and everyone, like, kind of having a descendant. Yes. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And, actually,
it's so satisfying.
One thing that I love the most that I just discovered last night, I don't know if it was a reveal or if I just got spoiled, and I don't think they ever mentioned it because it didn't look like. I think it's speculation for the most part.
Okay.
You remember how when Rex and Shulk first pull up, they're accompanied by 2 girls, and one is clearly a descendant of Agnes, and one is clearly a descendant of where Shulk's from. They're basically their assistants, right? But they work with everyone because they're like the 2 team leaders, basically.
Okay.
Do you remember what they look like?
No.
I don't know if this will be said in the game.
It's cool. You can say whatever.
One of them has black hair and red eyes and dark skin, and the other has green hair and glasses. And it's essentially that the ones that are with Shulk is the daughter of Ryan and Sharla, and then the other one is the daughter of Zeke and Pandoria. And so
Zeke and Pandoria, I think I thought
recognize that. That's the one I recognized. And then when I realized, I was like, oh my god, that's Sharla and Ryan's kid because of the eye color and the skin color. Oh my gosh! I was like, this story is so incredible. It's like taking everything that
it's so hard to do, but how could you? It almost like if you in talking about it, if you haven't experienced it, just for taking the words that we're talking about for the story and where it's at right now, it could be done in a way that honestly it could feel like just almost like a cop out fan service. Yes, and it is so not
but it's
that.
Not at all.
It's fan service done correctly.
And that's what I'm saying. There is fan service. My
all
fan service was hearing let's show my thing or 3.
Dude!
Oh my god, when he first pulls up and he's like, he's, oh my god, it's just like hearing the double spinning edge. Anchor shot! Which is so sick because he's dual wielding and he's this big guy.
Yes,
scars on his face, and it reminds me of Van Damme. And I'm like, he was
even the eye patch.
Yes,
come on.
Even he doesn't have an eye patch, but
he doesn't.
You're thinking
he's a scar.
Think of Xenoblade 2. Yeah, he has a scar.
Yeah,
but Rex has that scar, and then even from what we know, Rex is House Van Damme.
Right.
He names the family he creates. He takes Van Damme's name and he becomes Rex Van Damme.
Dude, and the honor of Van Damme.
Yes.
As a, for the most part, smaller character as far as screen time goes.
3 or 2.
It's
kind of for both. To be honest.
Yeah, in 3 and now leading into Future Redeemed. Like where they've taken.
Yes.
Like Rex is a character. It's all part of you know what I mean? Like and he. Screen time in Xenoblade 2, it's not very much, but he's still such a cemented core character.
He is an essential part to the story.
And to Rex as a character.
To Rex, absolutely. And I just love
beautiful.
It. It's just this beautiful tapestry that Takahashi is just weaving of all these characters. And it just makes me even more happy just knowing that in the distant past, Adam and his descendants all end up being Rex, Matthew, Guernica, what's her name? The bitch queen? What's her name?
The bitch queen.
Not Gondor. Gondor's mother. Monica.
Monica.
Yeah. I love that whole family so much.
Yes, dude.
And just knowing that they came from Adam, that's Adam's people, and how they've descended, just brings me so much happiness and so much it just makes me appreciate the story and every second that I'm playing so much more. And it makes me appreciate playing as Matthew, just knowing something's going on with A and what the hell that could possibly mean, and the fact that she looks just like Alvis. She looks like Alvis's daughter.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And I still have so many questions about that first trailer. Yes. Right? And
absolutely. The beginning of the game. That's how the game starts.
The beginning of the game,
literally starts with, he's a heartless machine.
Yes.
And they're standing next to fucking, what's his name? Zed. And Zed is like, tell me what you will, master. And he's working with Alvis.
What the hell?
So I'm even wondering if Zed is a part of Alvis, or if my idea is about, Zed being this kind of a partial spin-off from Zanza, right? But at the same time, I'm also he could be a spin-off of Alvis, because Alvis was the thing that gave Zanza his power in the first place.
And how they even thought of almost a redesign of Alvis with the definitive edition of Xenoblade 1.
With the necklace? Absolutely. Yes. But notice that's the earring that A has as well. It's the exact same one.
It's crazy.
And it's so perfect because he's Ontos. because there's Lagos, Numa, and Ontos. That's the Trinity processor, and all of them really bleeding down into everything we see. Besides, Malos.
Yes. Yeah, Joshy. Let's. We talked plenty about Xenoblade last week.
Yeah.
Honestly. So,
yeah, I'm sorry.
No, dude.
I wanted to talk about.
We had to.
Something else.
But we should.
Is that
we
okay
absolutely
for you?
Should. Yeah, let's shift into the monkeys.
Okay, well, technically they're apes.
Okay. You're right. I was just giving a hint.
So there's a brand new movie that just came out called Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and it's getting a lot of buzz online. Like, in the same way that it's like the same way I saw Dune Part 2, where people are going to movie theaters and going to see this movie and talking about it and saying this is incredible. You just don't see that all the time.
No.
I feel like it was Spider-Verse before it was Dune.
Yeah,
and that's years apart.
It's so
hit
or miss too.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like as each new amazing thing comes out, it's harder to hit that again.
Yes,
every time.
So I've just been hearing that this new Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is just like incredible, right? And so I've been so curious because I've been a big fan of
Serkis.
Yeah, Andy Serkis. Yeah, Andy Serkis. He's amazing. He also directed Venom 2. He does a lot of stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he did. And he knows motion capture better than any actor out there. I promise you that. He's like the king of motion capture roles. And so I decided last night, I was like, you know what, I'm going to give it a shot. I literally didn't even think too much of it. I was just like, I'm going to put this on. If I'm feeling it, I'm feeling it. If I'm not, whatever. It's not for me. That's okay. Kind of the same way I watched Dune Part 1, where I was like, I'm going to sit down, watch this. If I don't care for it, I don't care for it. And then I was sucked in. Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Same way, by the way.
I was sucked into, watched the whole thing in one sitting. And because of the ending and everything that happened, I was just hooked. And I even looked, I was like, when I started Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, which is the second in this trilogy right here.
Right?
Dawn, yeah. With Caesar as the main character. I was like, I looked up how much time passes between those two movies, and it just brought up this huge timeline and I love my timelines. And so I was doing just a tiny bit of research. Yes, I absolutely do. Because, like you said, when you came into my room, there are a lot of Planet of the Apes movies, but they all fit into specific timelines, and it's this big, massive, spanning world that exists. And it was almost even giving me like Xenoblade vibes of
no way.
Yes, of like seeing this is the incident that started it, and then this happened, and then this happened, and then these movies take place here, and they don't like it's not reboots anytime, it's origins to this whole story,
right?
And I love it. I literally, Rise was so good. Dawn is incredible. Like the like I said, the main character Caesar, one of those main characters that just sticks with you.
Sure,
and you just want to see succeed, while at the same time where he will go in his life. And it's
what's his like demeanor, like what's his personality?
Oh my gosh, he's like, because of everything that happens in the first movie, he's the first intelligent ape. Because can I tell you a little bit? Or what do you want to?
Actually, you mind if we take a quick break? And then I want like a little like synopsis.
Absolutely. I'll squeezing them out.
All right, we are back. Joshy,
here we are.
Please take me through some of this lore.
So
as you know, I love lore.
Of
and
course.
I know you do too.
Who doesn't? So this whole series, this true series, starts at Rise of the Planet of the Apes, and
so sad.
It's so sad. But no, it is a pretty sad story. The whole idea is that there were multiple apes being tested on for this.
What time period is this?
It's like 2014, 2015.
Like real
modern
world.
Day.
Oh, wow.
Modern day real world.
Okay.
And so that's why it feels like a zombie apocalypse, and the first movie is the origin to that apocalypse. It's like the first episode of Last of Us, basically.
Yeah. So what time period is that?
Last of Us?
No, like the end of the Planet of the Apes.
Like the Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Wait. So, I'm sorry. The original Planet of the Apes movie, that is the origin of where we're at now?
No. Rise is the beginning of the series.
That's the this is
it's
the
like
beginning.
The Skyward Sword, the first episode.
Okay,
first thing you need to watch.
Like the original.
The original
Planet of
is
the
the
Apes.
latest in the timeline.
And how far is that? Do you know?
thousands and thousands of years. Absolutely.
So like this is centuries.
So these are if we are treating these apes like they are cavemen, right, by dawn of the Planet of the Apes, then by that time they're people with a culture and clothing that they wear.
And where's humanity?
Completely gone by that time. And the only people that come back in that original movie are the Mars space people that leave at the beginning of Rise of the Planet of the Apes. And you see that, and you see like a newspaper that gets tossed down that says like lost in space and like that kind of stuff. So they get lost, they're in like cryogenic like chambers, they crash down. The whole twist of the original movie, it's called Planet of the Apes, is that they believe it's an alien planet, and then they learn that it's not. That's the whole twist when he sees the Statue of Liberty and goes, "You maniac!" You know? And he's like screaming at it. That's the whole twist of the original. It's the latest of the movies. Okay. Right?
And I also watched it when I was really
when you were
little,
a kiddo?
like maybe 7. I don't really remember it.
I want to rewatch it once I finish. And I honestly, I'll probably finish after I watch Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Because it's so far in the future, it's kind of removed from the other series.
Yeah.
There's not really a mention of Caesar or anything like that. It looks like Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. When you see that edit I showed you of Proxima Caesar, there's a monarchy. They kind of have jewelry on and like a kingdom that exists, right? So it's almost like the Renaissance era of these apes timelines in the world.
That makes absolute sense.
I know.
Yeah.
And it just makes me really excited to watch the rest of these movies. So
keep us updated.
Yeah, I absolutely will. The first movie was really good. Definitely, it felt a little dated, a little bit, but not like bad at all, if that makes sense. If anything, there were some scenes in it that were genuinely like shockers and like moments that are meant to be remembered, like serious moments meant to be remembered. And they're just carrying that over into Dawn of the Planet of the Apes and just expanding this whole story with Caesar in such an incredible way. So his Caesar's mother was a lab experiment for humans to discover a way to cure dementia, right? And you basically find out that through the testing they've done with these apes, it makes them much more intelligent. And Caesar is the son of the mother that was tested on.
Was she the first?
She was basically the first. And then, I mean, I don't want to spoil too much of the movie because I think you should.
Yeah.
But essentially,
this sounds very interesting.
Caesar is raised by humans, so he has kind of a natural love for humans, but he also has this natural, like, removal from them because he believes that, they've kind of been wronged a lot. A lot of the apes in the world, they're from zoos, they're tested.
It makes sense. It makes total sense.
Another main character that I love so much is named Koba, who is another lab experiment just like Caesar. So Caesar, I won't say too much, but a lot of apes become intelligent. But Koba was there as one of the ones that were tested on, so he has a bunch of scars all over his body. And him and Caesar have this beautiful friendship at the beginning of Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. And he's probably the second most like interesting character that carries over from that first film. And there are characters already that are like carrying over and are like characters I care about, and they have like physical distinctions and they have names, and it's just really compelling. It's so much more compelling than I expected.
This sounds crazy, but I'm not kidding. My mind is going to the B-stars, right? And how like you can look at it from the outside as clearly like there's something in our brains, I think, about like we are more interested in human interaction and action or whatever, like live action Marvel. That's fucking amazing. It's hard to really say, like, like the MCU has done a great job in making it is its own like universe, and there's characters and actors that I'm a fan of. Like when I see Chris Hemsworth, I see Thor.
Recognize that character.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it's pretty magical. Yeah. And when movies like do this, so looking at something, anime does the same thing. I have the same kind of like, I don't really want to watch B-stars.
Right.
Beautiful anime, bro.
Absolutely.
Right? And just where I'm at also, like, too, just with understanding and taking in these deep thematic stories and how good as some of these fucking like just writers and creators
Absolutely.
are, man. If it could be executed properly, it should be. Like, I want to watch that.
Yeah.
It sounds really good. And I trust your opinion, too, because you're pretty damn critical.
Yeah, I am extremely critical, and I just want to say even all the I had a lot of critiques in the first one.
Yeah.
I was kind of critiquing it the whole time, and I could recognize there were some scenes I don't like most of the actors. They just feel like placements from their time. James Franco is not a good actor. He's not a real good actor.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of roles.
I like his roles that are memey, right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
That's what he
Comedy.
should be. That's what he should be placed in. But there was a time where he was really trying to branch out and do his thing. That's fine, but this is just, it's a product of the environment.
So you would say in contrast to Timothée Chalamet.
Right? Absolutely. Right. In a way that Timothée Chalamet, that's his shining performance.
Yeah.
Of like, this is
but
what
he's
a
got
real actor can do. Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
And he's got more than just comedy. He does like he did the Willy Wonka movie.
Right.
And so he's got this.
He's got range.
But
right?
I wouldn't.
He's a good actor.
This is not the thing for James Franco. And
right.
to be honest, just appreciate that movie for what it is. I was very critical, and I was still. There are scenes that are just so iconic in it, and even scenes that like I almost knew the dialogue because of all the years of me, being of pop culture, understanding pop culture, recognizing some of them, and there were some lines where it was like I knew exactly what they were gonna say right after another, especially one, and it just made me extremely happy.
Do you like that shit? Usually, I don't really like high predictability, but
it's not about predictability. It's about impact on a cultural sense, impact on a pop culture sense. So if you could say it's predictable that Darth Vader says that he's Luke's father, but it's not predictable, it's iconic. You know that's coming, but not because it's predictable, but because you've heard it so often, right?
No,
any quote from any big movie, it's not about predictability, it's about iconography, essentially.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, that first movie is chock full of it, and there's just so much to it, and I'm so invested.
Sick,
I can't wait to just watch that finish the second one. I'm almost done with it, and then watch War of the Planet of the Apes. I'm just so excited.
Oh, bro.
Seriously.
Yeah, absolutely, bro.
Huge
okay.
praise.
Yeah,
for
please
me.
keep me
It's
updated.
huge praise. Yeah.
Might be something I want to watch with you, bro. I'm not kidding.
Possibly.
I mean, as long as you're down to like rewatch some shit.
Hell no.
Hell no, bro. You have anything else you want to bring up?
I'm feeling good.
Yeah, cool. I just want to brush you up real quick. The only video game I'm playing, right? Pokemon Sleep.
There it is.
The music. Okay, dude. So I showed you the Raikou event, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and did I show you the music?
Great pronunciation, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. I got it. I finally got it, bro. Thank you. No,
you did.
I showed you the music, right?
Yeah, you did.
It was like a remake of Ecruteak City,
yeah.
I think. Yeah. Dude, they did it again.
Oh,
because
no way.
this is the Entei event. So the entirety of the island, this is Green Grass Island. This used to be nothing but grass. Look at it. It's all burnt down.
Oh, that's
Look at the
crazy.
detail. Turn on the volume rocker.
There's like volcanoes in the background.
Yeah. Turn on the volume rocker for a second. Dude, the models look so good. I got an Entei. And so here's the thing. They do a really unique thing with legendaries because this is this is like the Animal Crossing of Pokemon, okay, in a way.
Right.
It's really, really fun. The more you play, dude, it's like Spanish almost.
Yeah, I like it.
So good. The quality of this game is actually outstanding. So basically, it was predicted this event was coming right after the Raikou event, because why would they just release one of the legendary dogs, right? Or the legendary beasts. I'm sorry.
You got it.
Yeah, thank you.
We went over this.
It was like, oh shit, I should start prepping a fire team, right? That was like a mindset. Dude, one of my favorite, like, didn't think I'd love him as much, but this is the thing I love about this game that separates it from other Pokemon, even Pokemon Go, is that every Pokemon is liable. Seriously, it's kind of like Smash, and they're each unique in a different way.
Or like Power World.
like Power World, bro. Actually, like more like Power World, actually, right? So with the stats, I'm not gonna like go too deep, really, because I kind of did that last week. But I built a amazing fire team, and dude, Flareon is crazy.
Is he?
So he has an ability. It's unique to Flareon and Magnemite in the Magnemite line.
Okay.
So only 2 Pokemon really have this ability.
Basically.
It increases for your next cook or your next meal for Snorlax. It increases the size of the pot.
Nice.
Right? So increasing the size of the pot means you can just dump extra ingredients that don't need to follow a recipe. And so check this out. Why this is insane, Joshy, is because I haven't fed him lunch yet, and I actually have like less than an hour, so I'm going to try to do it before 6. But I really need Flareon to proc his ability so I can use...
Is there a timer?
Oh, please. He had nothing. Just 1 berry. So they have a frequency, right? So on my team page, there is a frequency of how fast they help each other, right? So Flareon also has an ability where he buffs their total frequency by 5%.
Right.
The team. That's huge. That's
Pokemon?
Like, like in a way that's like a 25% boost to your total productivity, right? So there's just a lot of like factors. It's a passive game, and that's what makes it fun.
Yeah.
Also, I have an OP as fuck Dragonair. Seriously, it's a perfect Dragonair, and it's the rolls are insane.
Nice.
So I have the default Entei, okay?
Right.
And his ability is when he activates, he does like 10 rounds. Yes, please, bro.
Thank you, brother.
He does like 10 rounds of ingredient and berry gathering for every Pokemon on the team. That's crazy. He's always like wild. A really wild support Pokemon, which is different for legendaries. What are legendaries usually? They're like
pack demons.
Yeah, like they're just leading roles. You would use a legendary instead of a normal Pokemon if you were able to in a tournament. No question.
Absolutely.
They're just way stronger, right? That's not how they designed him in this game. So unless there's like...
He's like support.
So he's a support for a fire squad. Because the support ability, dude, it is literally insane. Fucking... Basically, for every fire type Pokemon that is unique on the team, meaning you can't... It would be not able to like be beefed up in this way if there was like 5 Charizards, right? If they're all unique, it actually increases the support. So the base... is you get 3 times the frequency, the usual help for every Pokemon in your team, right? So for each unique one, it stacks with +4. That means it would be 3 + 4. Dang. It'd be 7 times.
That's crazy.
Right? Then this is a fire event, okay? So all of the
3
Pokemons...
+ 4s would be 7?
Yeah. It's additive multiplayer, or it's an additive multiplier. Instead of it being like 3 times 4 is 12, right? It's additive. So it would be like 4 times the help plus 3 times the help. So 7.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So then for the...
I thought you were saying 3 + 4s. I'm like...
No, yeah.
I think they're jipping you on that.
Yeah, I think you're getting hoed, bro. No, the multipliers, there's a lot of like... It's all math, and to be honest with you, it's kind of scratching like a Fire Emblem like itch.
Interesting.
Because there's a lot of math and like... like probability and like it's just it's very fun. I honestly think I am more hooked into this game than I have any other like Fire Emblem or Pokemon Go.
No way.
Dude, I'm not kidding. It's so I love it, Joshy, because here's why. Can you hear me out?
I'll listen, but I don't know if I'll hear you.
The reason it's my favorite is because I cannot get this experience on a console. That's why.
What about Pokemon Go?
Pokemon Go, like I don't know. If it was Pokemon Go versus Arceus, Arceus is better. Way better, okay?
Yeah, I know, but I thought you were talking about...
This is now a phone-level tier list for me. And for me, specifically, that is a gaming experience that I can only get on my phone. I would only ever play this on my phone.
What about Pokemon Go?
Yeah, but like, hear me out. I would, if it was between Pokemon Go and this game, playing it on like a console... I wouldn't play either of them. You know what I mean?
Right, that's my point.
Yeah, so...
Dude, you think it's
Pokemon Go is really... It's honestly way better than it deserves to be honest, right? It's top tier.
Right.
This is S tier for me. I have never, and also, bro, when I was like 9 years old, I'm like, all right, someday I'm going to grow out of Pokemon. Right. I am 32, and I am still enjoying Pokemon, and more than ever, and this is and by the way, there's something about, like, I don't think I would enjoy Pokemon Go while playing, like, the new Legends game when it comes out, right? Yeah. I would just, in my brain, think that everything about the Legends game is better, okay? Right. Especially with Megas coming back. Yeah. Like, come on. This game is not on that level. It's not. It is a completely different Pokemon experience. And the balancing, dude, I'm not kidding. You love Butterfree? Butterfree's liable. Right. Really liable. Right? Every Pokemon, even Golduck, there's like an S tier build. Like, I'm on the subreddit. It's kind of nuts. The amount of community behind this niche as fuck game is crazy. Everyone's trying to help each other, right? There's no competition with each other, so it's all like healthy, right? Yeah. It's wild. It's wild.
Like it, man.
So,
sounds awesome.
The last thing I'll say is when you're going to cook, okay? There's a recipe I've unlocked that has an absurd amount of ingredients, okay? That's like 77 ingredients, and you can only hold up to 600. That's now it's the cap, okay? Right. So you can stockpile, but Flareon's ability, you increase the pot size, okay? Oh, shit. And so it just makes the pot bigger and bigger and bigger. My default pot size, I have a buff for the week for the event, plus my default is 45. Right. So I can only fit 23 plus 45, 68. I can only fit 68 ingredients in my pot. I can't even make this by default. You can't cook it because your pot's not big enough. Right. So Flareon comes in and starts beefing up the amount I can put in my pot. Got you. So with the event, one proc from Flareon, which every single frequency cycle, there's a chance. So it didn't do it right there, right? Right. But I click on Entei, and the screen goes dark, and there's kind of like an animation that goes off. It's definitely just not going to happen. Yeah, definitely didn't happen. But you collect like berries and ingredients, and there's chances on everything. Yeah. It's honestly, if you like passive games, and I know you do because of Animal Crossing alone, but especially Power World, it honestly has also improved my sleep. Wow. Because I've always struggled waking up, and I literally wake up and there's a Pokemon waiting for me. Yeah. And it only happens that time in the day. Right. So now I'm not actually ever like capturing Pokemon or anything right now. It's just passively playing. That's sick as hell. Yeah. That's really cool. I like the sound of that. It makes me want to get into it, but I think you'd like it more than you think. Think so? To be honest. Maybe plus, if you have friends, it's a huge benefit. Just like Pokemon Go. Yeah, more than Pokemon Go. Okay, candy is a huge element to the game because Pokemon level up extremely slow. You get a maximum of 100 experience a night. That's what you told me. Dragonair is level 32. Yeah. She needs to be level 41 to evolve into Dragonite. Dragonite, right. The current level, XP to the next, is like 1,300. And so you're not going to get that for months? Yeah, that would be 13 days. Oh, I see. To level up once. I captured that. Dragonair was a Dratini in February. Right. That's crazy. It's a slow. It's like it is bonding with Pokemon. The nicknames I have for them, bro. I have a whole line. Cyndaquil is Cinder. Quilava is Oh, what is it? Oh my gosh, I can't remember. Last thing I'll say, and then I'll drop this. Fucking Cinder. Quilava's Wildfire. Yes. Excuse me, and my crazy Typhlosion is Afterburn. Afterburn is hard as fuck. Dude, isn't that sick? And he's so just, he's just angry. Bro, I love it. It's, so I've wanted to love Flareon since Gen 1, but I always like Jolteon or Vaporeon, right? I have Vaporeon and Sylveon and Espeon. I need to get Espeon up there because Espeon's one of the best, which is so good to my heart, bro. Because Espeon's one of my favorites. But I always wanted to love Flareon. Yeah. Now I love. You have the ability to. Exactly. I love it. Exactly. Joshy, thanks for hanging in there with me. Dude, it's so interesting. I want to know. Yeah, fuck yeah. Seriously. Yeah, sweet. It's been it's cool because it's there's almost, again, it's when I like playing my own kind of niche games sometimes, like Fire Emblem. Right. I like sometimes that I'm like, it's cool, like running into, what's his name?
Who?
Gerald's buddy, Ryan.
Oh, yeah.
Big Fire Emblem guy.
Cute.
I don't run into those kind of people a lot, right? So it's probably going to be pretty rare that I run into someone
who plays Pokemon
who plays Pokemon Sleep, right? Yeah. So it's up to me. With great power comes great responsibility. I got to share how good and well-designed. Plus, I'm not going to lie, errors happen.
Yeah.
And things happen in the community. People complain. They're constantly, this developer, okay? Push select, okay? Yeah. Push select.
Yeah.
Dude, select button. My bad. I think I did that last time.
You did.
Yes. Select button. Great community-loving developers.
Wow.
I'm not kidding.
That's awesome.
If something happened during the Raikou event. Yeah. So they fixed it, and as an apology, they just freely gave out a ton of stuff that you would have to pay money for.
That's cool.
For free.
That's the kind of shit I like.
Yeah, they have done that multiple times.
Yeah.
So, quality.
They just did something recent on Bloons Tower Defense.
What happened?
They gave they had like a Mr. Beast promotion, and Mr. Beast personally gave everyone. It literally shows up as a Mr. Beast monkey, and he gives you like 2,000 monkey bucks, which is like you have to grind for those.
You have to grind or pay, right?
Or pay for it.
Yes.
Yeah. And I don't know how much it would be per money, but it's like $2 per like 1,000, I think. It's not like a ridiculous. They don't overcharge in fucking balloons, and it's like it's 3,000 for a champion unless they just came out, and they'd be like 7,000.
Got it.
And so I wanted to get this brand new champion because I was playing with Dylan online, and I literally logged in. I'm like, dude, I need 3,000 more, and then Mr. Beast pulls up on my fucking page giving me $2,000. I'm like, thanks, Mr. Beast, I appreciate it.
What timing?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. It couldn't have been better timing.
Totally.
Couldn't have been better.
No, honestly.
Can I mention something real quick? I don't want to get too much into it because I'm not kidding. I would love to share this with you more because I don't think there's anyone who would appreciate what it is more than you would.
Yeah, let's hear it. I'm interested.
Monochrome. My little brothers.
I wrote it down.
Did you?
Last week.
Yes.
I actually made it a big highlight.
Yes. So I'm
gonna write it down again.
Yes, I just wanted to say I 100% in his game. So I got all the achievements. So you completed
the visual novel.
I did the visual novel. So I did the visual novel and I got caught up. There's not too much after the visual novel. But I sat down. There's 4 routes, technically 5 with a bad ending.
Okay.
There's 4 routes to take and then a true ending that you get at the end once you get everyone's. Oh my god, I'm so wrong. There's like 6 routes. There's like 6 routes that you can take because there's 4 central main characters and then you switch to a different character who's interacting with another character. Okay. And then you switch throughout the season because it's 4 seasons. It takes place over a year.
I love that.
It is one of the most ambitious ideas I've ever seen, and the writing is incredible. I was brought to tears on 3 different occasions, and I got extremely emotional reading it. Like I said last time, dude, Drew, this is
I'm so excited.
Incredible. I think excited. You love it with your love for visual novels, and also it's so optimized.
And I'm gonna like back up what I just said about Pokemon, right? This would be a very unique experience.
Absolutely,
I can experience it on my iPad, right?
Yes, you can. Dude, there's a, but it would just be through the webpage. Yeah, it's just a complete mobile version.
Yeah, as long as I can do that, it would. Yeah. I would love for my mind can easily separate experiences based on how I'm experiencing it on like a physical and hardware side. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I will say too, he makes it so incredibly optimized, but also it's so easy for like feeling achieved after every single playthrough. I probably played it like 8 times.
Does it cost?
No money at all.
Is there a donation?
Free. No. He doesn't take any donations at all. And that's mostly because he uses unlicensed music or licensed music for it. So it's basically just a fan project because he uses... There's Persona music in it. There's Undertale music. Yeah. There's music from other stuff. There's a song from Arcane that's in it. Oh my god, it's so
Can he do it because it's completely free?
Because it's free. It's a fan project, and since he's not getting any donations, there's no legal requirement for him to. So if he sold this game, it would be legally a huge deal. Because you can do anything really online. Anyone on DeviantArt can use any character and draw pictures of them. But it's when you start making money off of it when that's an issue, and that's, for the most part, usually where issues come in. Sometimes Nintendo stretches when it comes to them taking shit down from online. But a lot of the time it's, Let's Players or people who add music and run ads before it, you know what I mean? Or make big, long playlists of Nintendo songs.
I can think of a plethora of games that have been shut down that were completely free.
They were free.
Yeah.
Well, those things also come down to, there are a lot of Patreons that are connected, and there's legality
but even
that are
before
connected.
that.
Oh yeah,
I'm talking do you remember Chrono Resurrection? Did I ever tell you about that?
Yes, you did. I think.
It was basically a complete. Caleb knows exactly what I'm talking about because this happened years ago. I think it literally happened 2010.
Yeah.
So in 2006, this complete fan project was hey, we haven't still gotten a remake of Chrono Trigger. We are a small team, 3-4 people maybe. It was called Chrono Resurrection or Chrono Revelation, something like that. I think it was Resurrection. Yeah, and they had a trailer that they dropped after 3 or 4 years of working on this, right? And it was an opening kind of part of it with Chrono facing this big monster, and it looked so good. No gameplay, nothing like that. It was just an in-game engine trailer, and it was hype. It was yo, this is fan made and for free.
I guess I don't really know then.
Okay. Square Enix, because they have the IP, they shut it down immediately.
So Pokemon has been able to do that with a lot of mods. So they just actually recently did a fucking war on Gary's mod and took a bunch of Nintendo
I think you mentioned
mods off. Yeah. But also there was a Pokemon mod for Pal World, completely modded by the community. And they were able to get it taken down basically legally. So I don't really know exactly what it is, but Drew is not making money off of it. It is completely his dream project basically, and I couldn't be more invested with these characters because of the fact that he chose to do it as a visual novel, and there's something about being able to choose who you talk to, there's a section where you wake up in the middle of the night and you're playing as a character named Hero, and you go to a hallway and you can basically knock on these characters' rooms, and if you have a close enough friendship with them, they will let you in on different playthroughs, and you can have a whole different character experience. Wow. There's a gallery of original art that happens throughout the story, and you unlock it in the main menu. There's an achievement for getting all the pictures in the gallery. There's an achievement for getting each playthrough, finishing each character to their max, basically. Dude. And there's mini games that are there are games in his thing. There's a fishing mini game. There's this fighting mini game, and it's
every single time you bring up this. Even the idea before he actually made it. Yeah. It's it has evolved, and it's so beyond, I know it's going to be, mind-blowing.
It's one of the most ambitious projects, like I said, I've ever seen. You know what I mean? I'm excited. Like I said last episode, it's not a story going in being holy crap. I mean, you probably will have moments, but Josh's little brother made this. This is an artist that I'm just connected to, right? Who has his own followers online, who has his own, webcomic that he makes, and his own game that he made.
Yeah, you're looking at it objectively.
It's objectively incredible.
Or as much as you possibly
Yeah, exactly. Removing myself from the equation and me being related to Drew. Drew is the Toby Fox of right now when it comes to this kind of storytelling.
And that is not a small feat, bro.
No,
no. I've never heard you say that about somebody else either.
It's also it's just what's happening. Yeah. It's just Toby Fox was ambitious with his project, and he continues to make it more ambitious. But if you want one of the most quality visual novel ideas out there with an extremely extremely interesting art style, extremely like variables of like how you play the game, how you answer each question, and also like I think I said this before, but each part, if there's dialogue you've seen, you can hold control and skip, and it just like flies through the whole thing. But once you reach some dialogue you haven't seen before, like if you're running, like let's say you ran Puck before, which is a character, and then you decide to run Kai's run. Once you receive from choosing those options with Kai, you get hit to a halt, and then you get the information. And the most incredible thing about it is, since it takes place over a year, there are only specific events you see. And so the canon explanation for all this is that all the things that happen that you did in the visual novel are true things that happen in the canon of the story, for the most part. And the true ending is almost... You never beat Minecraft, did you?
No.
It's
the Ender Dragon, right?
Yes, but it is more than the Ender Dragon. When you beat Minecraft, I don't want to spoil too much, but you get to
you
hear...
You can absolutely spoil.
Well, you get to hear it within a conversation of two gods, essentially, that are like talking about you as a character and as a person. And these two gods, it's theorized what they are, either the creators of the game, or two Endermen listening in on you, or two beings that created the Ender Dragon. And it's genuinely like a heart. It made me cry when I beat it recently. But the true ending,
I love like
is
the crazy existential shit.
If you like crazy existential shit, this whole story, Monochrome in general, everything, the whole idea, it's all based around the idea of gods and the idea of their creations, and in a very tasteful, while also being this really interesting aspect, is that instead of it being that humans are messed up because of humans' decisions, humans are messed up because gods created them in their own image, and they hold trauma, and they hold fear, and they hold anger, and they hold what's the word?
Like emotion.
Resentment. Yes, a true human emotion, and they created these beings to be a part to them. And there's like so much incredible stuff. There's a lot of characters to follow that are very compelling, and the twists and turns, there are twists that just give me chills and bring me to tears. It's literally incredible. And even something that's even more fun about it is that when you do play the game, you could call Drew and you could just be like, dude, this is amazing. What did you mean by this? What was this idea? And he'll break it down for you. That is, for me, why I recommend this so deep and heavy to you, because indie games and indie stories are incredible. And for the most part, including something like what was it? Tales from Soda Island.
Yes.
I reached out to the creator and I just let him know how awesome I thought it was.
Yeah.
Indie games, you can usually do that, but sometimes you're not going to be able to reach out to Toby Fox. Man is a busy guy. He's got a whole team working on it. So to be able to experience something that's so personal and yet so real, and there's also something, once you start to play it, there's a character that he accidentally based off of me, and you will probably be able to tell who that character is, probably just by looking at it. And he even said, he was like, yeah, I accidentally based these characters on my siblings or my parents or this stuff. So it is slightly personal for me too.
I get it though, because I feel like you would be asking how would it be an accident, right? But it sounds extremely deep.
When you storytell, it's and this goes for writing music or drawing, you are putting everything in your heart onto the paper. And
it's a reflection, man.
It's a reflection of who you are. And Drew was even explaining this to me today, because I have huge plans for my comic, and I'm always working on it. Even if it's not just drawing, it's just planning out where these characters go and where the whole thing is set up from. So just wanted to mention that. I think it's incredible. I can't wait for a time when you can sit down, and the comic is not that long, to be honest. It's not something you'll be sitting at for hours. You could probably knock it all out in one day and then focus on the visual novel. And once you understand what's going on, because it's not a traditional comic book with...
One question. Should I go through it with Kendall?
Yeah, you absolutely could. You absolutely could.
Because she's like down always to like do anything that I want to do.
It's definitely one of those things where it's a lot of I would see it more as a personal experience, just because there's conversations that take place between two characters, and sometimes I think that would be hard to share with someone else.
Sometimes,
because it's very uniquely done too. It's in second person perspective, so the narrator says you. The narrator constantly is telling you, you feel this way.
So there's a narrator.
Yes, the narrator is the thing you're reading a majority of the time, because even your thoughts, unless
I'm sorry. I was thinking like voice acted.
No.
Oh, okay, it's audible.
Yeah. It's not voice acted, except for there's no voice acting, but there's beautiful sound effects and amazing songs chosen for the visual.
Have you thought about voice acting for it?
I don't really see a purpose, to be honest, because there's a lot of characters, and you kind of have to get a lot of people, and I don't think you'd want the same voice actor doing it.
Sure, it might not capture the depth.
Honestly, and one thing I like is the idea that you kind of pick up the characters' voices on your own. There's a character where my headcanon for him is the English voice actor for Levi, and I just think it's perfect for him. And there's another character that I think would sound just like Daruk from Legend of Zelda.
Totally.
Breath of the Wild.
Totally.
So, incredible.
Yeah.
I cannot wait for you to experience it.
I have some things to say about voice acting later, actually.
Oh, yeah?
So, yeah. We'll get there. And experience is kind of like that, but...
Yeah.
I definitely am going to experience it.
I think you have to.
I think I have to. I don't think I have a choice.
Everything I saw,
Joshy, I think it is finally time for us to kick this podcast off officially. Are you ready?
I'm so ready, Sammy.
Do it, baby. All right.
Let's get it going.
Welcome to Multitap.
Yes,
My friends, welcome back to the official Flash Brothers podcast with Joshy and I today. This weekly show is essentially two best friends sharing casual discussions centered around our collective interests.
As you've probably seen by the past hour. Right?
Yeah, easily. We're at 2 hours and 55.
Including pregame?
Including pregame and like pre-pregame.
So like 2 hours maybe, a little bit.
2.5.
Yeah. Oh, 2.5.
About 2.5, yeah. Okay. And it's 5:30.
Yes.
Should we text him 8?
Yeah, let's change it. We can say 8 or 9, to be honest.
All right, yeah.
I'll send you some text.
Would you mind?
Absolutely not.
Thank you, my man. Here, let's do some voice acting right now.
Oh, really? Okay.
All right. Let's get started. We blend retro and modern topics framed around gaming, anime, and our further diverse and individual passions. Our focus is set on spreading positive vibes within the duality of informal yet comprehensive and informative content, while building a vibrant community where you can become a part of the crew.
Can join the conversation.
You can join the conversation.
You know what I'm saying, Ryan?
Our episodes drop every Saturday at 5 a.m. with pregame dropping 24 hours earlier. Available everywhere. And we personally use Spotify and YouTube.
That's right. We really do.
Josh, someone out there might be wondering how to join our crew.
Well, I'm wondering the same thing, mate.
Are you?
I absolutely am.
Yeah.
I'm constantly thinking to myself, I would love to be a part of the Flash crew.
My friends,
Flash
you can become a part of the crew easily. Questions, comments, theories, discussions, and more can be written in, my friends. Patreon.com/FlashBrothersPodcast. Understandable. You can receive direct updates and Discord access. We got a knock. Hold on.
We're gonna pause.
Bing, bing, bing. Now we can leave it up. What's up, Kenny? All right.
Let's get it going.
As I was saying, man. All right. Direct updates and Discord access, because I've taken Discord, the link out of the episode description.
You'll
have to find it within our community. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get connected here, plugged in, as Johnny would say. All right, I can't keep this up. My brain can't handle it.
Keep going. You gotta keep it going, mate. Keep a
fuck.
strong
My other
accent.
sock.
It'll keep you.
Oh no!
You'll be locked
I
in.
can't put these socks near these wheels, bro. They're getting destroyed. Look at these.
That's crazy. What are the wheels even doing?
Well, pinching the string, I guess. Maybe it's really soft, so. Maybe it's really thin. Joshy.
Could be.
Yes. Gold tier sponsorship.
No.
You know what I'm talking about?
Of course I do. Are you kidding me?
You can join the crew,
favorites.
be an official and exclusive, member
Bless you.
of all of our bonus content for the Flash Brothers podcast.
Yes.
So special recognition during each episode. Excuse me.
Is.
That one had to come out, bro.
There he is.
Access to exclusive content and Patreon posts. The ability to send submissions directly through Patreon for your writings.
Yes.
Yes, sir. And exclusive channel access within Discord. And a permanent membership price lock-in. Meaning you do not have to ever pay more than whatever you are currently paying.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. And if you're curious about what we were talking about earlier today in our pregame, that's a part of our exclusive Patreon.
That's right.
Gold tier.
Yeah. So if you want to get involved, if you want a deeper side to Josh and I, if you want more access to all of our bonus content, actually, because we have something dropping in the coming weeks.
Ooh.
I will say another mini series, my friend. But nothing to officially unveil yet. Just a little sneak peek.
Yeah, keep it.
But Joshy, what if I don't want to sign up for anything?
Well, me personally, I think that's okay.
Yeah.
And also you personally, I think you also think that's okay.
You know what? That is completely okay.
And I think also our podcast personally thinks that's all okay.
Just simply send us an email, guys.
Yeah.
flashbrospodcast@gmail.com or you can, even easier, simply respond to the Spotify Q&A.
Which is what got us talking about Croc earlier today. So you have a lot of control over this episode.
Absolutely.
So just hop on Spotify or send us an email.
Your support means in great detail,
Great
guys.
detail.
Yeah, seriously, we'd love to hear from anyone and everyone.
That's right.
Your support means genuine growth for this podcast and our community.
Yes.
We appreciate and love every last one of you guys.
Every single one of you.
Every single one of you guys.
That's
all right?
right.
Speaking of gold tier sponsors, Joshy, I have a list here of our current Patreon subscribers.
Some beautiful people.
Beautiful people. Part of our crew.
Yes.
Let's go through this list in reverse order. We've got Daddy Mikey.
Daddy Mikey.
In the house. Daddy Mike.
Yes.
Welcome back, my man. If you didn't hear, we talked about you a little bit in pregame.
We got you a great shout out.
Yeah.
For,
Yeah.
Well, we talked about it in pregame.
Yeah,
so
yes, we did.
Go check that out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But some childhood and just a big impact on Josh.
Some beautiful words.
And speaking of that impact, bouncing back to the top, Mama Annie.
Whoa.
Yeah, another huge.
We're going daddy then mama.
I know.
Wow.
Have to, bro. We have to start with the OGs,
That's right.
if you will.
The
you know
OGs.
What I mean?
They're more OGs
We are their
than
legacy.
Anyone.
Yeah, exactly.
They've been here long.
Next on here is Mikey
Wikey,
Papa Mikey of the Sandoval 7. You already know, bro. And Tayden, shout out to him
shout
as
out
well.
to our boy.
Yeah, another boy in the house, man. Yeah.
And if any of the other Sandovals are listening, send us an email or ask Mikey to shout you out.
Absolutely.
Because we will mention you every single time.
Yes. Yeah, we're all wearing our pirate hats.
That's right.
And we will toss you one.
We're all in the same fleet.
You give one episode a listen.
That's right.
Yeah, and let us know what you think. And next on here is Donald Duck.
Donald D.
Yes, sir.
The man himself.
Donald D, man. Welcome back, brother. Welcome back. And my dear sister, Lene Lovelady.
Lene.
Lene.
Also my sister as well.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now that you've officially met,
that is right.
You can claim that title.
Well, I was claiming it before.
You guys both already claimed it.
I was already claiming it,
and
I just claim it harder.
Yes.
That's all I do.
Absolutely. It has been cemented.
Yes, it's cemented.
Followed by my beautiful, gorgeous woman, Queen Kendi.
Who's picking us some Chipotle up.
She is right now, man. I'm so stoked. Quesadillas, man. I'm not kidding. I kind of now I'm on this kind of Chipotle train.
Yeah.
I used to be. I used to get literally, actually when I was really on my workout game. I was going to work out this morning, but low-key, Kendall and I had a really late date night last night, which we'll get into because it actually has to do with the main topic.
Oh, very cool.
But it was a lot of fun, and I definitely had a bottle of wine.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
Oh, yeah. So I woke up, and I had to recover for a minute. But we are back.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
With that all said, and I don't want to get too distracted now, but I want to mention it so it stays in your head.
Oh, yeah.
Have you heard any of the backlash Chipotle is getting online right now?
No, I have not.
You haven't heard anything?
Nothing.
Interesting.
Tell me.
You want me to tell you right now?
Sure.
So basically...
Am I going to like call this off right now? Like,
no,
cancel.
Yeah. So they're putting poop in everyone's food. No, I'm just kidding. But just legendarily, people are posting online how the portion sizes are getting much, much smaller, like very visually smaller. And there's some Chipotle managers who are taking it into their hands to basically not allow any film, because they're kind of going viral right now online. No filming allowed inside a Chipotle.
I did not know that.
To not talk to any customer who is on their phone, essentially. That's some stuff from certain Chipotles. I don't know if it's all.
I have not heard
Last
that
time I had
all,
Chipotle
bro.
was when I had that quesarito.
Yes.
So, and that was fantastic and it was huge. But I wanted to see if maybe anything changed. So when we get that food, we should definitely take a look at it and talk about it.
Well, for sure. I do have, I guess in my mind, I don't really view that as like a terrible thing. Hear me out. I'm sorry, I'm going to adjust my chair.
Which part? Because one I disagree with much more than the other.
No. It's only really in a selfish aspect, I guess, because the quesarito is insane. Just by itself, okay?
Absolutely.
It's literally a quesadilla wrapped around your burrito. It is delicious.
Insane.
I've never had one that tastes like Chipotle's. It's perfect, dude.
So different.
It actually separates it from the other burrito game, okay? However, it is so massive, I usually honestly can't finish it.
Yeah.
So for me now, and so maybe I just haven't really noticed, but I do want to say, I mean, I had one right after your birthday. Yeah, on the way back with Dory and Sophie. I had one and I downed that whole thing.
Right.
Maybe even I had a little bit more room. So you might have a point
Could
there.
be. And it's not even my point because I don't go to Chipotle too often. Right? But that's just what I've seen online, and the portions seem to be getting smaller, and the management is getting upset at people for reporting. I don't like management being upset that people are upset. That actually really pisses me off because...
What'd you expect?
That's what I'm saying. If you are making a change and not changing prices, and it's negative, then that's on you for the backlash you're getting, not the people who are reporting the backlash.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's
because
like, why would you punish people
now you're trying to hide it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So then,
you're ashamed.
Yeah, it just feels scummy. But
it is scummy.
I'll do more research into it. Maybe we'll talk about it next episode.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, the next person
with all that
here is a part of our Flash Force, Joshy. It is Sweet Adrel.
Sweet
Adrel, you want to give him a quick plug?
Of course. He does Twitch streaming on twitch.com, and it's at Sweet A. That's Sweet A. Sweet A-Y-E-E-E. So go check him out.
Thank you.
He's absolutely hilarious.
Yes, he is.
I don't think he's...
As I always say, a born entertainer.
Literally a born entertainer. I mean, you probably saw by the way he was on that episode. Such a good episode.
I don't understand. You have a pretty high energy threshold, I feel.
Yes.
But I've definitely seen, at least in my perspective, maybe I'm wrong, but I've seen it narrow down and you focus your hyper energy more as you've gotten older, right? Definitely, I felt like when you were 19 when I first met you,
absolutely.
dude, you could carry a party all night.
Absolutely.
Now, I mean, that's been me too. Genuinely, I've been a lot louder.
Yeah.
A lot louder.
I think that has a lot to do with, not just growing up, but also just when you have a lot of responsibilities, you literally have to portion out your energy.
You have to.
That's
you absolutely have to. Yeah. So that being said, Adrel, that dude has a lot happening in his life, and a lot has happened. That dude's been through a lot. Yeah. That dude carries the most when he really wants to, and he's really passionate, in doing his streams.
Yeah.
His energy is unmatched, naturally.
Yeah,
and it's not an act. It's just who he is. Yeah. It's crazy.
It is amazing. So shout out Sweet A. Check him out on Twitch. He's awesome.
Yes, dude.
The man.
The final shout out.
Yes.
With intention here, Joshy is Johnny Bravo. Johnny Bravo. Jean Rao the Fourth. You already know, brother.
Yes, sir.
Joshy, he has something to say today.
Does he?
Just like Caleb did. So we are jumping back to party chat.
Wow.
Right?
Jumping in and out. I like it.
We are. Yeah, you like?
Getting my toes wet.
Yeah, getting your toes wet. Yeah, sprinkling it in. Yeah, I actually want to know, like, aftercast, too. You can share, like how you feel about, like, the new kind of, like, flow of the format.
Absolutely.
Okay? So, that being said, Johnny actually just wrote indirectly, said, have you and Joshi heard of a spicy new rumor of a new PSP?
Wow.
Yes.
No. Oh, speaking of who just texted me.
No way.
John
On cue, Johnny.
Yeah, I
Meant
told him to come
man.
closer to 8.
Yeah. What did he say?
Well, he said, no. He said he's not feeling too good, so he might have to rain check.
Oh, no.
I'll say, it's okay, baby. We love you. And I'm going to send a picture of you, okay?
Okay.
In the pod right now. Yeah. There you go. Sweet. It's a pretty cool picture. Shows it off pretty well. All right.
Got that set up.
Yeah, let's get it going.
Your POV.
Yes.
Anyways,
Yes,
so I had no idea what he was talking about.
Right.
I'm going to be honest.
Right.
You just said you hadn't either, right?
About?
Like, the spicy new PSP.
No.
Yeah, okay.
No.
So... I already did, so that we could save time. Yeah.
Oh.
So
I still can't look it up.
I skimmed, so you're probably gonna like maybe see the same thing. But yeah, I did a little Google search real quick before we started the cast, and I came across a Game Rant article that was posted February 1st. So this is actually from several months ago.
Interesting.
Okay? Yeah, like 3 months ago.
Yeah.
So this is basically a skim. I read the whole article, and I'm gonna just paste in here basically what I found.
Okay.
YouTuber Moore's Law is dead. Have you heard of this guy?
No.
Okay, me neither.
Is he dead, or is his name Moore's Law? Is dead?
Moore's Law is dead.
He is dead. Okay.
Yes.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Moore's Law.
Let's make that clear.
No.
Yeah. No. He released a video where the claim is made that there's evidence they're working on a new handheld. Yeah, and not like a PlayStation Portal.
PlayStation Portal.
No, but kind of but better. Okay. PlayStation has already paid AMD to produce this device.
What's AMD?
Like the graphics processing company.
Okay.
Yeah, like you know, like they make high-end graphics cards. Yeah. And like processors and shit too. Though details are largely speculation, it can potentially run PlayStation 4 games natively. Like not a
online
different not a stream and not a like version of the game for this device,
but the game
itself. Or even potentially PlayStation 5 games working natively similarly to a Steam Deck.
Okay, that's pretty crazy.
That's
insane.
Yeah. Johnny, this doesn't sound like a PSP. This sounds like...
That's a PS need right
dude,
there. That is crazy.
If that is true,
if it is,
that would actually be the answer for competition with the Switch.
Absolutely.
That is the only way for PlayStation.
That absolutely is.
Because the Vita like showed that it just
Yeah.
You know? But going this route of the Steam Deck, I had never actually considered that.
I had a little bit with the PlayStation Portal because I was hoping that's what it was going to be.
Sure, yeah.
When I first saw about it.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, I think it's the best way you could go if you want to actually rival with Nintendo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because then that might even push, the next Steam Deck to be even better, and then keep that going and keep the vibe running, you know what I mean?
Yes, bro. No, I'm really excited to see if that pans out.
I would love
anything.
to hear more about this because this is exciting.
Thank you so much, Johnny.
Thank you, Johnny. I appreciate you.
We're going to continue the special shout-outs for our remaining Flash Force team. Okay? Yes. We got Baywatch Brad making all of our music. You just heard that intro at the beginning for our Prelude. The legend himself, Shadow Buddy and Shadow Buddy Music. Nice. Check him out. And we got Demon Hunter Caleb.
Oh, yeah.
An additional co-host to the show. Yeah. And for future premium content, actually. So look forward to that. And with that being said, Joshi, let's kick off our show with a part of the new format. Yes. We're flowing right into it this week with the headlines of the week. It's time for the news flash.
I like it.
And then I feel like I could be like, it's time for the news flash.
Or I could go.
And you go, news flash.
That's pretty good. Or I could go, how does like a news segment start? It's like dun 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 dun. And then it goes news flash.
News
And while
flash.
I do that, dun, 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 and you go news flash while I'm doing it.
Okay.
You want to try that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to start it off.
Okay, so wait, let's re-tag the line. This will happen live. Okay, so let's
live.
kick off our show.
Yes.
With the headlines this week.
Yes.
It's time for
News
flash.
Boom.
It's time for the news.
Get that news in, baby.
Get that news in, baby.
Let's
Okay, here we go, baby.
I'm ready.
Our news flash of the week.
Let's go.
First, I want to start with the weather today. In Phoenix, Arizona, we have a low of 70 degrees and a high of 103 today, which is the first day. The first day of actual triple digits for multiple days in a row.
No.
We got a taste of it like 2 weeks ago.
Do we?
I think so.
Did we?
Yeah. Well, I work outside every day, so I'm pretty actively looking at the weather because I got to prepare. That's true. Truly, right?
Isn't it a little bit cooler where you're at though?
A little bit. Like maybe 2 degrees.
I think that's what Kendall's dad.
Yeah. But honestly, I feel like it's a lot windier, which is a blessing and a curse. Honestly.
I think so.
Because it gets really dusty out there.
That's
really dusty.
Yeah.
Every day I come into my bar, there's legit a layer of dirt and dust on everything. So I'm covering all my bottles in garbage bags.
Right.
Joshie, our headline today for the newsflash is Masahiro Sakurai.
Ooh, my favorite.
Reveals Smash Ultimate character win rates.
Whoa.
So this is crazy.
He revealed them.
He is revealing them from, he said, it's basically several statistics. The biggest is online win rates, which is that's relative. But if we look at professional tournaments in comparison to the online, this, I feel like it's pretty damn good data.
Okay? I want to hear this.
Yeah, check this out.
Okay.
And I want to preface, this is a conversation that I've had with Dusty way back when we would hang out every day.
Yeah.
With you and me within our within Rocky and our Smash community here.
Right.
This is the most balanced fighter game to ever exist.
Completely agree.
With the amount of characters and stages.
Come on.
It's unreal.
It's 79?
I think it's 79, and then if you include I saw something that said 85. Is that true?
85, maybe. I'll look it up right now.
Yeah. You look up how many characters we got. I will say the subtitle is "Any fighter has a shot at winning."
Oh,
yes,
I like that.
sir. How many characters we got?
I'm looking right now. Let's see. It's 76 fighters, but it was 69 unique fighters, 7 echo fighters, 1 additional piranha plant, obviously. Yeah. And then 76. Wait, this looks outdated. I think it's 79.
I think it's 79.
Yeah, with the new. Yeah, this is saying with an additional piranha plant.
Yeah. Oh yeah, did you find it?
Yeah, it's 89.
89.
Yeah, 89. With the new DLC wave. And then all me fighters, and then
all the Echo fighters.
All Echoes.
Yeah. Okay. So 89.
I always thought they should add just one more, so it could be 90.
Yeah, Come on. There's always that speculation with that last.
Right.
Yeah.
Little slot.
A little space. Mm-hmm. All right.
Yes.
Let's get into it.
Yes.
Every Super Smash Bros. Ultimate character basically has the same win rate online, according to the series creator Masahiro Sakurai.
No way.
In the latest video on the Masahiro Sakurai on Creating Games YouTube channel, that's the title of it, Sakurai presented some hard stats about the win rates of fighters while discussing the essence of creating a good balance in video games.
Wow.
Though he couldn't reveal specific details on each character's success rates, Sakurai did reveal the best performing character wins at 51.43%, and the worst performing character wins 47.18% of the time.
That's crazy.
The win rate of the 80, this article says 85. Okay. Is that, you say 89?
It's 89, but there's also...
Okay, so
Echo
it's somewhere
Fighters,
between, 85 and 89. Maybe it's not including the Echo Fighters.
Yeah.
Who knows? The win rate, maybe it's talking about, no, because,
yeah, I don't know.
Some of the Echo Fighters are unique. Like Lucina and Marth are definitely different.
I was going to say Chrom and Roy. Those feel the most unique.
They're very... Yeah, you're absolutely right.
They
Peach and Daisy, same.
Basically
and
same.
There's one more that's like the same.
Simon and Richter.
Excuse me. Oh, you're absolutely right. Simon and Richter.
And Dark Pit and Dark Pit.
No, they're different. Their side Bs are very different, and their arrows are different.
Arrows are so different.
I would say also Dark Samus and Samus.
They're pretty much the same.
They're pretty much the same. Like, if anything, Dark Samus is like kind of worse because she doesn't like always go into the morph ball, which is so... Dude, Gabe uses that spacing so well.
We were just playing Smash before this, by the way.
Oh, yeah. We were. So, let's continue. So, the win rate between these 85 to 89 other characters therefore falls between these two figures.
Yes.
Quote, this tells us that any fighter has a shot at winning a match.
Yes.
Sakurai said. In fact, it would be difficult to make them much closer. End quote.
Completely.
He made clear that it was actual data gathered from around the world and thus presented genuine figures without any bias.
Wow.
Quote, this tells us that any fighter has a shot at winning a match. In fact, it would be difficult to make them much closer.
Did he not give the specific character who wins the most?
He didn't. Yeah, he just revealed that data, I guess. I didn't watch the video, but it's based on the article. Yeah, right.
Steve.
I'll continue the quote. As far as why the discourse may suggest one character is amazing and another is terrible, when in reality there's very little difference between each one. Sakurai suggested the internet is to blame. I'll continue the quote. The internet can tend to be an echo chamber of sorts. So if people start saying something is strong or weak, that assessment will gain momentum and make people think it's truer than it is.
True.
End quote. That's what I would call the vocal minority.
I agree with that, though.
Yeah. And also the loudest people, like on any... This is like just an objective standpoint, okay? On a vocal minority standpoint, you know how there's always like a bell curve? Right? And on the bell curve, you can put anything on it. But in this case, let's put skill level, okay? So the lowest on the bell curve, the worst players and the best players, they're the quietest players.
Right.
So the best players like aren't constantly, like if they truly are just top tier, unless they're like putting out entertainment content, right? If for the most part, they're not like extremely boastful, and they're not saying certain characters are like breaking this game or anything like that. They're not complaining.
I was going to say, which would be more of a testament to the way that person plays.
Yes.
Right? Than the actual characters themselves.
Yes, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
So then people who are average or below average, they often, there's a mindset of complaining mechanics.
Right.
Which, to be honest, every other game can deserve that to some degree because, you know, you play any Street Fighter, you play Mortal Kombat, you play other Smash games.
Right.
This is just the most balanced.
Completely agree.
Yeah, the vocal minority, it's untrue. Like,
completely
every
agree.
Character has gimmicks.
Gimmicks and, honestly, potential. That was one of the biggest ones I learned, especially for me, was picking up Alf. Because
oh my gosh.
I recognized that some people could use him well, but I thought it would be a huge skill gap.
Yes.
Right? And for the most part, it is. He's pretty light, and he's way different than every other character in that series. But the truth is...
And he's so tiny.
He's tiny. But there are so many things that all those things you think would make him terrible outbalance him in a really incredible way.
Yes,
and it makes me...
Dude, but there's so much balance, right? Because he's also light as fuck.
Absolutely.
And his recovery isn't that great.
No.
It can go far, really punishable because of it's so slow.
Unless you're good with it, though. Because you can control that thing like crazy.
Oh, yeah.
You know who reminds
you
me,
showed
though?
some tech.
Dusty with Little Mac was the first time I ever thought Little Mac
was a threat?
A viable character pick.
You're telling me.
Yeah.
You're telling me. When I moved here, he never played Little Mac. It was a meme pick.
Yeah.
Okay?
Right.
And sometimes he'd win just because it was like, I just forget about the super armor. Right. Okay? So I move here, and I think the next time we played together, like we had a Christmas and I saw him. Then I think I didn't see him for like maybe a year. Okay? He was but we would keep in touch, and he would always tell me, dude, my Little Mac.
Right.
So I fly home and I face him.
Yeah.
And I came back and I told you, dude, Little Mac is like disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad you got to taste that. And
absolutely.
It's everything. How many times is like a person come over who's genuinely good, like and they play some character that you haven't really played on a competitive level.
Agree.
Right?
It's pretty incredible.
It's pretty incredible.
I'll be honest with you.
No, for sure.
And
it's really humbling.
Yeah.
Right?
Humbling
Donkey Kong from Ben. I was like, no way he's picking this character.
So
actually destroyed, man.
Destroyed.
Yeah, and Zero Suit of Scott's so clean.
Good. It's so good. It's crazy.
No, dude, it's so it's sick. So I want to bring that up to kind of like, I don't know, just I knew you'd be happy to know that.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I am happy.
Yeah.
I love to know those things.
Yeah, especially that's hard evidence that this game is the most balanced fighting
balanced
game.
As a mug.
Yeah.
And I've told that so many times to Azzy where I was like, freaking Sakurai made all these characters equal, right? And there are some that I want to get into, but I just know it would just take learning them and playing and losing a lot. Rosalina and Luma is one of them, where I loved her in Smash 4, and now I'm like, oh, this is a trash character. But the thing is, you thought that same thing about Cloud until you saw what you can do with Cloud.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yes, dude.
Yeah.
No, I actually Smashdown is my favorite mode because
dude, we should play Smashdown tonight.
Dude, so down.
So I think the only one coming is Anthony, if that's cool. You want
no, I think Reese.
Reese is also coming?
Yeah.
That'll be a fun time.
Yeah.
If you're down for that.
Sick.
We'll have a good time.
Oh, yeah, I'll text him 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should do that right now.
Yeah. You want to wrap this up right now then?
Well, I have something more to add, but I'll pause it real quick.
Well, I gotta poop real quick.
Oh, you know what?
My poop
Let's
is coming
take a break.
Take a
Go
quick
ahead.
break.
All right, we are back. Joshy?
Yes.
The runner-up choices, which you can pick, I've decided. Any or, like, any one.
Okay.
You just have to pick at least one.
Okay.
Or you can pick as many as you want.
Okay. I'm with it. We'll see how I feel.
These are the semi-cryptic titles of each news article.
Okay.
The first is Mario 64 beaten for the first time without a single jump.
Wow.
The second, is these are all really interesting, I feel. The second is N64. This is like all throwbacks, by the way.
Okay.
N64 recompiled Majora's Mask.
Okay.
Number 3. Also, I apologize if you all can hear the AC. We had to turn it on. It was getting stuffy.
It's getting hot as a mug in this beat.
Hot as hell. All right. The third is Super Mario Kart Expansion, 32 years later.
I think I'm thinking the first one.
First one?
Mario no jumping is right.
Yes, sir. Yeah, let's pull up this article right here. Honestly, I thought they were all interesting. And they're all like throwbacks, okay?
There are some throwies.
So, let's dive into the article, which is titled Super Mario 64 has finally been beaten without using the A button.
Wow.
Dude, check this
what
out.
That takes. That's crazy.
Oh my gosh. It's actually deeper than you think.
Really?
All right? A gamer has recently beaten Super Mario 64 without pressing the A button once, completing a community challenge that started around 2 decades ago.
No way.
My guy, this is huge.
That's wild.
Yes, dude. This is like, the speedrunning community, these type of community of gamers that just like to do things that are very unorthodox.
I was going to say, I love how unorthodox it is. It's not just like complete it as quickly as possible. It's just do something wild.
It's a different, like, you know how you and I have like a certain side of appreciation we have of video games, right? Yeah, and especially on depth and the like animes and things we're drawn to.
Right.
There is another community. It's crazy how we can experience the same thing, but there's another completely different community, and they have a goal mindset of breaking the game.
And they're usually so dedicated to, like,
so
they'll
dedicated,
play for hours and hours.
It's so
share
commendable.
What they've gotten.
Yes, I also want to mention this is this article is from Game Rant.
Nice.
If y'all are interested. All right.
Y'all wanna check
So
it out.
Super Mario 64 is one of the most important platformers ever made.
Agreed.
And finishing the game without making Mario jump at least once was a hardcore challenge that puzzled some gamers for a long time.
I was puzzled too.
Dude.
Possible.
I certainly was when I clicked on this article. Releasing in 1996 and quickly becoming known as one of the best N64 games of all time. Yes. Tight platforming and amazing level design made Super Mario 64 an unforgettable experience for players in the 90s. However, it seemed impossible to even imagine what the game would be like without jumping. However, back in early 2000s, a games community started, which is called the Super Mario 64 A Button Challenge, in which gamers tried to go as far as they could in the title without ever jumping. To move around, gamers devised other strategies such as running and diving, and pressing B twice to create a fake jump, or pressing start during other actions.
What the hell's a fake jump?
You can you can barely move, I think, and dive in place, and it creates just a front flip.
Momentum.
Right. And you can use that to kind of slightly elevate. Yeah. Allegedly, also, there's a glitch where you can press start
This is so interesting.
at the same time as pressing something else, and you'll gain altitude.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
For a long time, it seemed impossible.
I'm going to look into this because this is so interesting.
Yeah, definitely. It seemed impossible to ever finish the game without pressing the A button without using mods. However, some really old footage even shows an early build of the game with Luigi. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh, yeah, of course.
But now, a Twitch streamer called Marbler has finally completed the challenge by beating the game after 86 hours.
No way.
Dude, crazy,
That is
man.
crazy. 86 hours.
86 hours
That's
it took him to beat the game. That is dedication. Around 8 months ago, Marbler had almost completed the challenge, jumping only twice. So he beat the game only jumping twice.
Wow.
About 8 months ago. According to Automaton Media, the main issue at the time was during the Bowser in the Fire Sea stage. Though when the player needs to grab a pole and then jump from it.
Interesting.
But
you can't. That requires you to press A.
You have to, I guess.
You can't get off.
So it's almost getting around that element of the stage. That's really interesting.
That's extremely interesting. I just want to see.
This problem was solved
a video
by Marbler using the Wii Virtual Console version of Super Mario 64. In this version of the game, the floating platforms on the stage continually rise very slowly, and after 3 real-life days...
That's insane.
...of waiting with it on, they finally reached a level that can be bypassed without pressing A.
Wow.
In Marbler's video, the gamer beat most of the game within a few hours, then waited 78 hours for the platforms to rise, performed a difficult fake jump, and managed to beat Bowser in the last level, thus achieving the win.
Wow.
It's important to acknowledge that how much of a challenge it is to beat it without using the A button. I think enough has been said. This is crazy.
I can't believe some of this, because this is wow, this is crazy. So, it's... Even just this first one, look at how he gets this block right here.
Oh,
yeah, it's crazy. Instead of jumping up
clever.
and hitting it,
yeah,
that's so smart.
Using the Z drop is what he did to hit a flying mask.
So
no, smart.
hat.
The flying
the
flying cap.
Flying cap.
That's what it's called. All right, Joshy.
Wow.
Would you like to dive into any of the others, or would you like to wrap up our news?
I'm good with wrapping. I'm not too
sweet.
I'm not.
Then
too
I have
compelled.
some footnotes here for you. Okay. Some tidbit information I felt was really worth mentioning.
Perfect.
The first is Nintendo is opening a second official U.S. storefront in San Francisco next year.
Nice.
Yes, dude. New Astrobot game, brand new one.
Astrobot,
as in Astro's Playroom.
Oh, I thought you were still talking Nintendo.
No. This is the second. I should have said that. You were right. This is the second.
Okay, fuck yes.
Headline.
Dude,
okay?
let's go.
Yeah. So, new Astrobot game being rumored for announcement in the next 2 weeks, which makes sense because we're about to hit E3 time.
Oh, yeah.
So, all these big announcements are coming.
That is one of my top 5 favorite games on the PS5.
Yes.
If they make a full game out of even the what's it called? What's it called? The system? Not the system.
Like the engine?
The engine, thank you.
Yeah.
The engine of Astro's Playroom, peak. We are looking at peak. Seriously, some of the best platforming I've ever played.
No, I completely agree.
Did you play that one?
No. Still not. I know. I played a little bit of the VR one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I got no excuse. I want to do it with Kendall, actually. So.
That would be cute.
But we are thoroughly enjoying Paper Mario right now, which I will get into.
Absolutely.
The third. By the way, these are all articles that I actually read and that the Astrobot, there's a little bit of gameplay of a desert level potentially.
Oh, you saw gameplay?
Like, I don't know if it was actual gameplay or if it was like it looked like a screenshot. From the gameplay.
Looking this up right now. You don't understand how excited this makes me.
Fuck yes, bro. Yeah, something to look forward to. The third piece of news is Kingdom Hearts series is hitting Steam for the first time.
Oh, wow.
Next month.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's
all
huge.
of them? Or just 1 and 2?
Okay,
maybe
allegedly 3? There's like, Reese probably knows this, but I've been out of the Kingdom Hearts scene for a minute. So granted, I don't really know.
Right.
But allegedly, everything from Kingdom Hearts 1 to Kingdom Hearts 3 is called like a specific saga. The Dark Charter Saga, something like that, okay? So apparently that whole saga is going to be released on Steam. So basically, Kingdom Hearts 1 through 3, if I'm not mistaken. The fourth piece of, I guess I should say announcements, all right?
Yes.
The fourth announcement is Kabosu. Do you know who Kabosu is?
I don't know if I do.
The dog behind the Doge meme has passed away.
Oh my gosh.
It's terrible.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, man.
That might be the most used image of a dog anywhere.
Ever.
I saw it just the other day driving home from California from I was literally so tired that I didn't even mention it to anyone. But there was a movers company with the big strong Doge meme. The big muscular Doge meme.
Really?
It was a moving company.
On the side of the...
It was literally like, it said like blank blank's moving company.
Bro.
And it was like, we get stuff done. And it was the strong Doge. I swear.
That's so fucking funny.
Dude, that's so...
very iconic.
Yes.
If I remember right what I read from the article, I think he passed away at 18 years old. And allegedly the...
18 is old.
18, man.
What's his name?
I think Shibi's...
Yeah, Shobi?
Lived for a really long time.
Yeah, they must.
You know?
The smaller the dog, the longer it lives.
Yeah, but I think I remember like that fact about him, right? And so I think I read also that the owner of Kabosu really appreciated like all the love and support that he got, and that he died peacefully.
Good.
So we wanted to share that. And the last announcement, Joshy, number 5, is Super Mario Land hits the Switch Virtual Console. I might do a retro recap on this sometime because Super Mario Land is such a unique Mario
It wasn't
experience.
already on there?
On retro recap? Maybe we did.
Yeah.
Oh, are you talking about the Virtual Console?
I meant the Virtual Console.
No, not Super Mario Land. The one on the original Game Boy.
On the Game Boy?
Yeah.
The introduction of Wario, right?
No, that's Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins, I think, or something like that.
Who's the main villain in Land, then?
Land? Dude, some dude...
Is it Bowser?
Wait, it might be Bowser. But I think there's another...
It can't be Bowser.
It's not Bowser.
Yeah.
No. You're absolutely right.
Way.
It's another villain.
Yeah, I'm going to look it up, actually.
The music is so unique. Have you played it?
Yes, I played it.
It's tough.
A little bit.
Yeah.
When I had a a Game Boy that we bought from one of our friends.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I played a bunch of games on there. It was when I played the first Kirby games. It was just retro. It wasn't
totally.
like back when it was first coming out. Yeah. Obviously, because I wasn't alive. But I really like that game for the... If you remember like the setting, maybe I was a kid, but I remember it looking like the first couple levels had like a sunset in the background with islands.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, I'm like, this is really
And then it goes like
cool.
Aztec.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was like, this looks so nice for a mobile Mario game. And it just felt like it had a unique environment that not a lot of Mario games afterwards have really utilized.
Honestly.
Because it's on like an island, right? Right? It's like a couple of islands?
Yeah. No, yeah, it's like a thematic island.
Yes.
I think like Xenoblade-esque, like Xenoblade 3, right? No, truly, it's like, it's shaped like a massive island with all these biomes.
Okay, this is something you would never be able to predict. What's your guess for who you think is the main villain of Super Mario Land?
Yeah, I have no idea.
His name is Tatanga.
Tatanga.
He looks like that. He's a spirit in spirit.
He is a spirit. I'm like, I've seen him before.
That's him from Super Mario Land.
Yeah,
and
never
then 2,
heard of that guy.
Yeah, 2, it's Wario.
Okay.
I was going to say Mauser because I feel like he's only in one thing. You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying. Joshy,
sir.
It's time to hit the main topic this week, my friend.
Yes, sir.
We have arrived. Today's main topic.
We are here.
The tentative title is The The 1,000-Year Miracle. Wow. Because today's main topic, Joshy, is we are bringing it back. I talked about this, I think, way early in Season 1. Yes. When we did I think it was that Speculations episode.
Yes.
Something like that.
We did a Paper Mario speculation.
Yes.
Which weren't we planning on doing that? And then the morning of, they announced that?
Yes.
Which is one of the craziest things.
It was insane. It was a mind-blowing experience. Yeah. The exact layout was I was planning on doing like a throwback episode to the 1,000-Year Door and why it's so special. And that morning they announced. And they showed a trailer. Yeah. Literally, bro, it was
during the episode, wasn't it?
Dude, yes, we took a break.
And then I was
That's exactly what it was.
I walked in, I was like, Sam, you will not believe this.
Unreal, bro. So, I have a lot to say about it, all right? Not too much, honestly, because I want this to be like an early impressions type of deal. But I do have some info I want to share, and so this will mostly be education for you. All right.
Okay.
You ready for it? Yeah. Okay. So the history is Paper Mario. Historically, it came out in 2001 on the 64, like the original, right? And at the time, I remember renting it at the video game store. So for me, extremely nostalgic. I remember renting it. What video game store did you go to? It was called American Family Video.
Oh yeah, you told me.
Yeah. And before they closed down actually because renting started going under. Literally, it was after Redbox and Netflix came out.
That makes sense.
Yes.
Because that's order it. And then you got it.
Yep, like right there. And it's so convenient, like, and it's cheap, right? It's super cheap. Like Redbox was like $1 to rent, right? Easy. You had to rent like for 5 or 7 days. It was like, brand new when it was newly released. It was way more expensive.
Well, the idea is that you can cut costs by making a vending machine.
Yes.
And you can just cut the idea because you don't have to pay employees, you don't have to pay shipping and handling and all that stuff. It's literally like, oh, you want this DVD? Here's $1.
Right.
Give it back. We have a bunch of them in stock.
Yes. It's a big example of like an idea that only worked for a set period of time.
Did Redbox go under too? Do you know? I
think they're still going. You should look it up. I feel like I rarely see them. But I want to say that, this was, it was very special. It was a rare case of renting a game, and I could not give it back. So as soon as we returned it, I asked for it for Christmas, and I got it for Christmas. Yeah, I played through Paper Mario so much. It's such a special game, very similar to those who grew up like with the SNES, I feel, and grew up with Super Mario RPG.
Yes.
Definitely, this is like the successor, okay, in so many ways, but truly, it's just done so much better. The first Paper Mario is spectacular.
Yeah.
It is so special, and don't get me wrong, I just played through the remake of Super Mario RPG,
Don't they have Paper Mario on the
Virtual Console? Yeah, on the Switch. Yeah, absolutely. It is in my opinion,
both are available,
you don't even have to like RPGs. It's charming. It's cute. It's the writing is spectacular. Yeah. It is funny, right? And it's original.
Right.
Super Mario RPG was like that, but there's almost like this element that there's a charm to it, but it's very dated. Paper Mario, and especially 1,000-Year Door, hold up today.
I was gonna say,
stand by that.
It feels like what Super Mario RPG was kind of like the growing pains that were like a necessity.
Yes.
For the games, even Mario and Luigi, those games to branch off and be what they were, needed to start with an original RPG game so that they could get their growing pains out.
Yes.
Kind of know how to make a what's the word?
Or express like that, even that creativity because it's like a spin-off,
something different.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like we talked about Pokemon Sleep, and like that's an immense spin-off of spin-offs. And like just a very original idea. This is Paper Mario. So the meme of it is in the first Paper Mario, they don't reference paper being a part of the world in any form. It's just purely aesthetic.
Right.
So the title Paper Mario is very misleading. It should be called Mario RPG 2.
Right.
Okay?
Right. With a new coat of paint.
With a new coat of paint. Yeah. Okay. I believe, I'm not mistaken, that then the sequel on the GameCube is Paper Mario, the 1,000-Year Door. And that was the actual sequel to the original Paper Mario.
The magnum opus.
This is the magnum opus of the RPG Mario series.
Completely agree.
It truly is. There is so much charm and love, and the writing is so funny.
It's genuinely hilarious, and
yes.
me personally, I haven't played it obviously, and I'll make that known now while we continue.
But you have watched a whole playthrough.
I watched
right?
the entire playthrough, and one of the things about it that was so funny was that I wasn't just enjoying the Game Grumps and their, making a spin on the game. The game was charming. It was funny. I felt this almost like such charm and care about these characters that I was like invested in the story at some point. And I remember I remember some key aspects of the story, like I asked you today, where I was like, I know Coop's whole story is with the dragon that shows up. And,
I was going to ask if you remember everything.
I don't remember everything. It starts to get a little hazy because I started using it as kind of like falling asleep to it.
Totally.
And then continuing to watch it, and then just new episodes would come out, and then I continue to watch it, fall asleep to it. And
you're kind of keeping up.
It gets hazy, but I remember Mario he gets like his shadow stolen, or he becomes like a shadow form in that really, really extravagant looking.
In the Twilight. It's called something.
Twilight something. I know,
not Twilight Zone, but it's basically the Twilight Zone.
Basically. But I know that's when that one character shows up with the pink hair and the witch hat. Vivian, that's her name. And then after Vivian is the big cloud girl. You remember the one that floats? Yeah.
Actually, the cloud girl is in chapter 2.
Oh, are you sure?
Yes, and that's Madame
Coops,
Fleuret.
I thought Coop was.
Coops is in chapter 1. You get Goombella and Coops in chapter 1. Okay. And then you beat Hooktail's castle, and so you got those two.
Yes, you are totally right. Actually, then I was getting that mixed up.
Yeah, no, it's honestly it's kind of such a blur that like I've played through the game and beaten it truly 3 times, but I've actually gotten like to the end and like started goofing off and just stopped playing. Probably 5. Wow. So this is probably realistically my 6th playthrough.
That's a testament to the game itself, right?
It's incredible. It gets better. It gets better every time you play.
Well,
it's the Xenoblade of Mario.
I was gonna say that sounds like something I understand because I've run through Xenoblade so many times and I love those games so much.
You will love the depth of the lore in this world. It's so truly special,
really
man.
Play it.
And they actually now capitalize on the paper aspect.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because there's like crumpled up characters, right?
Especially in this remake, bro, the animations and the sound effects of the paper effects.
Right.
It is all peak.
Oh,
I could not have imagined it better.
Paper Mario can like turn into an airplane.
Exactly.
At one point,
there's
or a paper airplane.
In the original, they
turns into a jet.
Literally. You might as well though, because you can cruise in that bitch. They add actual paper elements. Okay, so they capitalize and they give Mario.
So you can turn
literally.
Flat,
I don't know if you remember it, but it's a big cutscene whenever you get one of these because you're always unlocking this all black treasure chest and it always talks to you. It's locked and it's like, help me! I'm a trapped spirit and I need to be set free. And then like. Every time it's like a different version of the same guy.
Right.
And then once you solve the puzzle and unlock the chest, whatever it looks like, and it's all very unique, creative. There's the fetch questing is so different from other kind of like similar styles, right?
Right.
It's a joy to play in every aspect. The guy jumps out of the black chest and it's like all purple. He's like, you're a fool. You released me and now you will be cursed.
Yeah.
Excuse me. It's the writing is just spectacular.
Yeah.
So he curses you and he gives you paper boat, paper airplane, right? The ability to flip yourself sideways.
You can go sideways so you can sneak through things.
Cracks, right? Yeah. And the aesthetic improvement of this game, I cannot express it enough. Like the quality of sound effects.
Yeah.
I mentioned to you, and we'll get into like the specs and kind of differences here, but it is 30 FPS, which, to be honest, wouldn't be anything to discuss if the original was 30, but it's not. It's 60. It's like one of the few GameCube games that's 60, right? There's like Melee and Thousand Year Door and like 2 other games.
Right.
Is
it Wind Waker 60?
No, that's definitely 30.
Are you sure?
Wait. No, it's definitely 30. I remember it being 60 on the
remake,
HD, and that was a big deal.
That was a big deal.
The fact that it's 30, or Yeah, it's only an issue because, like, seriously, if you were to go back today, I mean, I just played through the entire game with Dusty 2 years ago. Right. It is bread and butter smooth. It is so optimized for the GameCube. It's like, what the heck? And it's beautiful. Yeah. This game, though, to be honest with you, Josh, it is one of the best looking Switch games I have seen. And that's coming from Xenoblade. Yeah. That's coming from Tears Odyssey.
Kingdom, Breath of the Wild. Yeah.
Exactly. But you'll see the level of sharpness in the texture quality and the sound effects coming out of it and the music. It is way beyond what I could have imagined.
Oh wow.
This would be like.
That's awesome.
I'm not kidding.
That's so sick.
I cannot believe this game actually exists.
That's
is
so
how
perfect.
I feel.
I was gonna say, because you showed me just a tiny bit today, and that's most of what I've seen. But you can see it right out the gate, especially if you have seen the original. Maybe if you haven't.
You know, I'm gonna actually take a break right now to take a leak. Let me show you what it looks like on my TV for a second. Okay. All right, let's get back to it, Joshy.
Let's do it.
You just experienced a little bit of the 1,000-Year Door. What
I did.
You have to say? Any thoughts?
I will say for my thoughts on this game, I thought they were very positive. I think it's a beautiful visual step-up upgrade, I would say. Apparently you said that shine on the ground that kind of precedes most like pathways, right? People are kind of negatively reacting to that, or they
I would say, like, you know, the vocal minority, or the hard, like minority. In this case it's like the hardcore fans of the true essence of the original, right? They don't a lot of people don't like that reflection, I guess. Right. I think it looks spectacular.
I think it looks nice. The main town looked really different. It looked less dark. Did you notice that?
It's a lot more like almost like paint splashes. It looks dirty, but you're absolutely right. The original is a lot darker.
I swear it looks way darker. What's that town called?
It's called Rougeport.
Oh, Rougeport. Yeah, I remember it looking. Yes, Rougeport. Yeah, it had a pretty big overhaul. If you take a look at it, it's like everything's a little bit more bright brown. Yes. A little brighter of colors.
Yeah, the aesthetic is definitely different.
Yeah, the aesthetic is for sure different.
So.
Yes.
Yeah, anything else?
Yeah, so that's, No.
Okay, cool.
I played a battle. You weren't in here for it.
Right.
But I forget how much fun that combat is. It was just something as simple as using a hammer and you hold it back and it ding, and that is so much fun.
It's like simple, but it's very deep.
Yes, I love that. I don't have the most history with Paper Mario, right? But I did play Sticker Star.
And you played Bowser's Inside Story, right?
Yeah, but that wasn't Paper Mario.
But that is heavily
very similar,
inspired by Paper Mario.
Yes, it is. Yeah, so I played
like the successor.
Bowser's, and then I played a little bit of Partners in Time. But
I loved Partners in Time.
That was just like my older siblings' game. Okay. And I played it.
In my opinion, Partners in Time is the magnum opus of the Mario and Luigi series. However, it is only slightly below 1,000-Year Door, but 1,000-Year Door is just amazing on way too many levels. But I will say that whole series too, the writing is peak. Yeah, the character dynamic, the world, very original characters.
The art, the pixel art.
Yes.
For at least
what was that like meme that people were wanting? Bowsette, right?
Bowsette. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, that imagery is definitely inspired by a villain, a major villain in the Mario and Luigi series.
Wow.
The first is probably my favorite, though, I'll say. But for like best design and just like, I don't know, the best one for sure is the second one. However, let's bring it back to Paper Mario. So as the history falls, okay, after the 1,000-Year Door, the entire series takes a very different turn. Okay, we need to get this out of the way, and I just want to kind of breeze over it. Right. We get on the Wii, right, the system after the GameCube, the Super Paper Mario, which completely removed the RPG elements of the game.
It was like a side scroller.
It was it still had. I wouldn't say completely removed the RPG elements. However, turn-based battles were gone. You could progress Mario, and it had a mix. It was basically a mix of all of those elements. Plus, it like had a 2D world and a 3D world, right?
Yeah, I remember
really,
that.
really cool. I played probably the first 2 chapters.
Oh yeah.
There are a lot of fans that think that is the best one in the series,
Wow.
and after taking in a lot of like content about it, not my own experience, I respect it. Okay.
Right.
I disagree though. Just the magnum opus of what Paper Mario is to me should be this. However, if they decided to make like a recreation or a sequel to Super Paper Mario, I would also be down. You know what I mean?
Play it again.
Yes.
You think?
However, that's not exactly what happened, because going forward, they then try to bring Paper Mario back to its roots in Sticker Star on the 3DS. This, my guy. Yikes. Just from my nostalgic trip, when they announced at an E3 like 3 years prior to the release of Sticker Star that they were making a brand new they're returning to the roots of a turn-based RPG in Paper Mario. I freaked out. It was like, nowhere.
That was hype.
Here it is. And I thought it was going to be like on the Wii U, you know? No, it was on 3DS, and notoriously we have spoken about how upsetting for you and I that game is. It's trash. It's absolute trash.
It really is. Taking away all of the downgrades that it is from Thousand Year Door and possibly to Super Paper Mario.
Right.
Beyond that, I don't think the central gameplay is that much fun. Every single battle, which you should feel incentivized to do,
growth
feels like a setback, because every single attack you have is an item that you have, which is ambitious, right, and could work in a different setting. But for an overworld like Super Mario, you should want to be able to initiate a battle and want to be able to fight. Sometimes battles felt like a hassle. It was like, I don't want to waste all these, because what are you getting from chess? You're getting really good stickers, right? You're getting good attacks, hammers, shoes, all those things, right?
Yes.
But the second that it starts becoming like, oh, I have to fight this guy, I have to fight that, you don't want to play the game.
Right.
And maybe that's just me.
No,
right?
It's not just
but
you.
I think
there's a lot of people on the same train, including me. So really, like, this continues, okay? Because then we've got Color Splash on the Wii U, then we've got Origami King on the Switch, leading up to this release we're talking about today. But before we got this kind of crazy hope out of literally the blue, okay?
Right.
These series, they captured, and like, I think like, the best part is that I have heard and seen extensive discussions and reviews on a lot of the elements of these games is retained. The writing, supposedly, is pretty damn good, okay? But the problem is that it, like, sprinkles in some things for what, in my opinion, the magnum opus, right, Thousand Year Door, why, all I could think about, and I think this is where a lot of people stand, why not just continue that formula? Because that has everything I want, and all I'm going to do is look at these future games in that lens.
Right.
Does that make sense?
It absolutely does make sense. And I actually might even have more to say than I expected myself to, because I'm a huge fan of Nintendo. Everyone knows that who's listening to this. But I also really like the politics of Nintendo and the politics of where the company's going with their IPs.
Right.
Because it hasn't always been the same, especially for Mario. Mario, I think, before the Switch era, and even a little bit after the Switch era, was very much a kind of up in the air, and it felt like Nintendo didn't know what to do with it, and what they wanted to do with it was almost like a very, like, I don't know the right way to say this, almost said PC, but I don't know if it's PC, but not pushing the boundaries of...
Very safe.
What didn't make Mario, those big Mario games like Thousand Year Door, Super Mario Sunshine, even, heck, Super Mario 64, having as crazy as it is, you know, looking back you might think it looks a little basic, but it introduced so much to the Mario universe. Mario never would have succeeded if he was running off of the new Super Mario Bros. Game series, and that's just the truth.
That's the truth.
And if you want to make games like Color Splash and New Super Mario Bros. U, you're going to have to like reevaluate the serious like impact and real work you'd have to put in to this IP.
Right.
And so I was following actually one of my favorite YouTubers for a little bit, Nintendo YouTubers, was Arlo. I love Arlo. You and I have talked about this.
Oh, yeah.
Because you've seen some of his videos.
Yeah,
and you
just from
looked
you.
into him. Oh,
yeah.
Really? That's it?
Yeah.
I thought you heard of him before me. Was that it?
No.
Oh,
I don't
really?
think so.
Love Arlo.
Yeah, I thought it was a different guy, but when you showed me his mascot is like the blue...
The blue puppet.
Yeah, I hadn't ever seen one of his videos. Yeah.
That guy's really funny, really entertaining. I love the production of his work. He's just really good. But he's a very big fan of... He talks a lot about the politics of Nintendo especially. And a lot of the things that we were seeing back when Origami King was coming out, especially Color Splash and especially remakes and all these, like, kind of just treating Mario really safe, was that Nintendo wanted to keep Mario as a very strict formula. They didn't really want to have wild designs of their Toad characters.
Right.
They didn't want wild designs for their Koopas, their Goombas, their all these. They didn't want to introduce the craziest of characters.
Yeah, and it's very unfortunate because it was not risky, and it's the risky business that gets you the farthest.
It absolutely does.
Yeah.
And I think there was a huge tonal shift when it came to Mario with the release of Super Mario Odyssey. I think that really kicked down the door of creativity and what you can do with the Mario IP, because from that point on...
Sorry, bro, I'm going to get a little jacket.
Oh, you're okay, bro. From that point on, basically... Mario's IP was not almost under lock and key the way it was back then. And they said in the past, Nintendo said, like, we don't have any intentions to make a Mario movie. We don't, want to, loan out an IP to another property, but it kind of started, I guess, with Mario X Rabbids, because they kind of gave a lot of their IPs to another company, and that was like a level of looseness where it's like, y'all are down for this? Like, that's what you guys are okay with doing?
Right.
Okay.
And that's that's saying something a lot, because that series is very out there.
It's very different. Out there. It's very weird. It's the last crossover you would really expect ever. Absolutely. And that was kind of the floodgates of the Nintendo Switch. And then boom, you get Odyssey. We then get a Mario movie done by a complete different studio, which is something I never thought I would see, to be honest with you, because of how lock and key they were acting about it.
I felt exactly the same.
No talk about a 1,000-year remake, 1,000-year door. No. Basically treating this new trilogy of Paper Mario games like it's completely separate from the 1,000-year door.
Yep.
And so this idea was kind of going across everyone's mind in the community, which is that era of Nintendo is done, and they don't want to expand that. And that is not the case at all anymore.
No.
Mario Wonder is the exact thing that you would want from a 2D Mario game. New art style, new characters, new designs, new worlds, right?
Yes.
Crazy out there ideas that is just wild. Absolutely wild. And that all, I think, is culminating to this being remastered.
I completely agree. I'm with you.
It's a cult classic to people.
It's a big message.
Huge.
Because this is like, I was almost painting this picture for Kendall before we started.
Yeah.
But it's like, here is what's going on, because in my mind, I do think about the politics too.
Right.
Excuse me. Truly, this game has a huge cult following, but if you look at the hard data, it was on a very failing console, like commercial-wise. Commercially, yeah, the GameCube bombed. This game didn't really sell that well. It was a top-selling GameCube game for sure.
For the GameCube.
I think it was like maybe in the top 10, okay? Probably. Like, it wasn't like top 3, right? On a failing console, though. Like that, it wasn't doing what Animal Crossing alone has done more than what the GameCube ever did. Right? It's crazy. So the fact that they chose to do this in a time where last year we had the most budget cuts and staff reduction in the video game industry ever. So this is a time where, like, being risky is the riskiest on a business-wise, right?
Absolutely.
No one else is really doing this stuff successfully.
Right.
And we've seen it over and over again with stuff PlayStation's done, decisions they've made, other studios underneath the umbrella of PlayStation, under Square.
Right.
Square just announced a huge reduction they had recently, right?
Really?
Yeah, under the umbrella of the success of Remake, like it's kind of puzzling, okay?
Yeah.
Like, because they've boasted about how amazing Remake has done, right? But even then, there's still, this is happening everywhere, and two companies are like really standing out to be actually taking the right risks, and it feels hardcore fans like me, like I'm actually being rewarded for, like, I don't want to say loyalty, because that's not the type of gamer I feel like you and I are, and that's not the conversation.
No.
People look at it like that,
I was
but
not
really
the
it's like,
conversation,
dude, they're just rewarding me for being a fan.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
So this game shouldn't exist. It truly shouldn't. However, 20 years later, my guy,
That's right.
we're here. That's how it feels.
It's a 1,000-year miracle.
It's a 1,000-year miracle.
It is.
You know what I mean?
I do. I really do.
I couldn't think of a better word to fit. So
I could not.
Joshy, let's jump into the new features.
Yes.
Okay, of
Please.
this game. So
Please.
this is the extensive list. This also is, if you don't want to hear the features, I don't know why you wouldn't, because to me they're selling points. This is not a new game. In fact,
I don't want to hear the features, actually.
you should
No,
hear all the features, okay, buddy?
Good.
Because there's something significant I want to say about the writing in the game, okay? Because I will say it has been altered, but check this out, man. Okay, first, 2 new badges, okay? One is the Nostalgic Tunes badge. I thought it was weird. One of the first things I do, especially in remakes, is I go to the options menu. And I go to see if there's any kind of, like, new options.
Something
or,
you
like,
recognize?
yes, or something, sometimes I remember what options were, like, I don't know, really necessary in, like, all older games, I feel. There was brightness options. There was, like, in Pokemon, there's, like, the text boxes. Right? Yeah. So I always go to the options, and I thought it was weird they didn't have an option to toggle the music to the old music, right? And I'm like, they really kind of missed an opportunity there.
Out on that.
Nope, they included a badge that I don't even know how you unlock it. It probably like from like the random badge shop or something. But the Nostalgic Tunes badge does exactly that.
It takes all the music back to what it was.
Wow. So
That's
that
cool.
to me is amazing. And they included, do you know, I don't know if you remember this from the playthrough, you can get a Luigi and a Wario badge. And all it does is change the cosmetic color of Mario.
Yes, I do remember that.
Yeah. So
I didn't know about the Mario one, actually, but I did know about the Luigi one.
really? The Waluigi?
The Waluigi one, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. There's Luigi and then Wario,
Waluigi?
but when you get both, you can make Waluigi.
I did not know about Wario or Waluigi.
Oh,
actually.
man.
That's cool.
No, it's fucking sick.
That's
so,
cool.
endgame Mario in this, it's almost like, in Ocarina of Time, you're just walking around with the red tunic?
I did that for certain, by the way.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So this game had that. You could end game Mario. You get it in like the second to last like part of the game.
Yeah.
You get the Luigi one, and it's super hidden.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I was gonna say also, with just going back on Ocarina for a second, I always do the mirror shield with the red tunic.
It matches. It looks so good. That's
and you also just
classic.
You look like you've been through an adventure. You look like you've learned
and you got the
a lot.
gold gauntlets.
The gold
You're just like,
gauntlets,
oh man, it's so
peak.
clean.
Anyway,
So that's what
That's
it's
the
like.
vibe.
You have
I like
purple
that.
and black.
I like that.
Is your outfit,
That's
right?
tough.
It's tough. They added a new badge called the Gold Medal badge.
What?
I have not seen what it looks like, and I kind of don't want to.
You want to save it.
Right, because to get it, you have to do literally everything in the game.
I'm going to look it up.
Yeah, I want to see
won't
it.
show
Yeah, you just show me.
No,
It's okay. It's okay. I actually have never gotten everything before, so I'm going to have to look up shit anyway. I want to see what it looks like.
TYD. I'm going to look it up.
And then, honestly, I need to take a little pee-pee break.
There's no... I was actually going to say I really need to, because I didn't go pee when...
You silly man.
Well, I was
Here,
playing,
I'll look it up
I was
too.
playing Mario...
Oh, yeah.
Remember?
Right. Yeah.
I'll be back.
Joshy,
Yes.
let's continue. With the new... Oh, wait. What were we talking about right before we paused? Oh, the gold Mario.
Oh, yeah. I couldn't find it on Google Images.
Oh, you know what? I wonder if anyone's even unlocked it yet. It just came out.
I know.
Gold
what it
medal
looked like.
badge Paper Mario.
Tell me to you new brew. I said straight ooh. Oh, is that it?
That's the badge.
Nice. Does it do something constant?
So it is acquired from receiving the Cooking Trophy, Badge Trophy, and Tattle Trophy, signifying 100% completion of the game.
Nice.
If Mario equips it, it changes the color scheme of his full appearance to Gold Mario.
Nice.
It can be combined with the L emblem, Luigi, and the W emblem, though the visual effects of those badges is very subtle when stacked with the gold emblem.
Wow. So it probably has like a shiny design to it.
Yeah, probably. There's no image.
Yeah.
So I don't think anyone's unlocked it yet. Dude, that's hype. Okay.
You gotta be the first, man.
There's also an art and sound gallery, as you tried checking out, but I have unlocked nothing yet.
You don't have anything.
I know. I'm wondering, if that's probably something you're going to be spending, like, your star pieces on you find, right?
Could be.
We got Battle Master Toad. Nice. So this guy is like a ninja-looking purple toad. You probably saw him in the town. And you passed through him when you came into Rougeport. But he's a ninja toad, and he basically is practice for battle. So you can practice like your technique, and you can also practice your timing for stylish moves. Did you know there's a style meter in the game?
Maybe. Is that when the audience starts cheering?
Yes, and that's the whole beauty of how they've presented this game. They followed it up from the original Paper Mario, where it opens and it's setting the stage for a play.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
That's why it's papercraft.
Right.
So in this, they take it a step further,
right,
and they add an audience. And the better you are performing, the more the audience grows, and you'll get rewarded.
Right.
The audience will interact with you. The stage pieces will fall and hurt you.
Yeah.
So there's a style thing you can do, and I'll have to show you this in person because it's crazy. In between your moves, if you have perfect A timing, there's like a few frames that give like 3 frames. Sure. You press A at a certain point, your character performing the move will input a style in the move. For example, your Mario, as you're running to go jump, if you press A at the peak of your height before you land on them, which is before you have to press the A button to do the double jump.
Right.
Mario will do a surf move, and it will say style. And it'll come back, and it'll play like a little harmonic sound to tell you that you've done it right. And it'll say stylish, and you will get more audience rewards if you perform these. Okay. There's a badge you can get in the original and probably in the remake that tells you, it gives you a visual prompt when the style move can be performed.
Wow. That's sick.
One of the first things I did to test this game is I remember through playing the game so much, you build a muscle memory. Right. So I just started doing it, and it's intact in the game, bro. It's so good.
That's like Xenoblade 3 for me.
Exactly, right? Okay, let's continue. There's a new pipe room and fast travel area to be able to even quicker get around the game, which is awesome because it's a big game, and there's no actual like pause fast travel, which is very like modern, and that's like Xenoblade, right?
Sure.
There is a new partner ring, so you just hold the L button, and you can literally choose. Sorry, I'm gonna turn this off. You can literally choose your partner on the fly. It's so fast. There's a new hint system, which you can just press the X button at any time, or maybe it's the Y button. Either way, Goombella appears above you and will just tell you about the area or give you a hint of some kind. So she doesn't even need to be actively out to do that. That's pretty cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
that ring reminds me of Animal Crossing because that's a new feature that was not
It is literally
possible.
just like that.
Yeah.
So love that. I love quality of life buffs.
We all do.
Yeah, we all do, man.
How can we not?
There's 2 new secret bosses, which I know nothing about. There is a 100 coin reward that is brand new when you beat a boss.
Okay.
A story boss.
Yeah.
And it has a big visual screen. It almost reminded me of New Super Mario Bros. 2, right?
Yeah.
Also, sometimes I like leaning against the desk.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, we're doing a standing desk.
Yeah, I'm trying it out.
Yeah, seeing if Joshy likes it. You're a little taller than me, so if you want me to raise it even more, I can.
No,
Cool.
If there's an issue, I'll say it.
Thank you.
That's
right.
Right.
Honesty is much needed around here, my friend. All right, Joshy, I have some changes for the remake, okay?
Yes.
An updated soundtrack, which is phenomenal.
And I was listening to. I was hearing it.
Let me take it a step further.
Okay.
They have new tracks, completely new tracks that aren't remastered.
Right.
The battle theme, it's very distinctive. Once you hear it a few times, kind of like Persona, it gets ingrained in your mind.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I've heard the default battle theme 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
When I got to the castle, Hooktail's castle.
Yes.
The first level, basically.
Yeah.
It had the same exact battle theme, but with almost like a dungeon medieval twist. So they have added new music that is like a further rendition, so the battle theme will be updated.
That's cool.
As you play the game.
As you go.
That is so sick,
That wasn't
man.
part of the original at all?
Not part of the original at all. It had one battle theme. It had like a mini boss theme, a final boss theme. It had like main bosses.
Yeah.
So it was varied, but not on main battles. Just with random enemies, right?
That is
So
gonna go a long way.
it runs at 30 FPS,
Right.
which your feedback didn't really notice. My feedback, honestly, it feels very natural.
Yeah, it
right. Doesn't feel like it's needed,
Yeah.
right? Okay. Are you comfortable?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Keep going.
Like it? Yeah. We can go back to sitting.
We can keep going.
Nah, let's go back to sitting.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I can tell.
What do you mean?
You just don't like it.
What? How? What's giving it?
You're fidgeting.
away? I fidget.
No, I know.
I do.
I fidget too, but
When I'm on my feet.
yeah, I just want to make sure you're
I
comfortable.
wanted to show you what happens because my feet turn red. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
See, doesn't that feel a little bit
That
better?
makes sense. So you probably that's why you probably need to move.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
I need to
So
move
you have to,
like
take
shift.
the pressure
Yeah,
off.
exactly.
Okay.
I want to fix it one day. My personal trainer said I should roll a tennis ball on my foot when I'm sitting down.
Oh,
And
you should.
Just, have
Something
that
I
there.
do too is I do
try
these
to-
feet stretches where I just try to bend my toes and move my foot around my ankle as far as possible until it's uncomfortable, and I hold it the point it's uncomfortable. I hold it for a bit, right.
I also have a messed up toe here too.
Oh, dude,
It's
yeah,
bent.
and that's
inward
huge.
'Cause
Each
I
toe is
broke it
important.
in California.
Oh,
or maybe
shit.
it's dislocated. And it's still
It still
dislocated.
hurts.
No, it doesn't hurt. It's here. Take a look right here. Look, the spread I'm able to do on this foot versus this foot, you can literally see it. It's like this one, I'm able to do that. This one, it bends inward. You see that? And I can't spread it.
It honestly
broke
looks swollen.
Yeah, because it's either it's dislocated still, and I need.
Does it hurt
surgery
to
fix
bend it?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah.
Wow.
But I don't have enough money for all that, so.
Let's go to a chiropractor.
Oh God.
Knock it back.
Yeah.
Joshy.
Yes.
I'll continue. Pianta
Yes.
Parlor was a gambling part of the game.
Oh,
okay.
really?
There's a I can't remember his name. It's Papa Pianta, right? And he's
Sounds right.
Super Mario Sunshine, right? It's a part of the game. It's basically the mafia. Okay,
Right.
that's a part of the storyline, right?
Yeah, right.
And part of it is it makes sense. He's hidden, so
Right.
Excuse me. I think might be a spirit.
He could be.
Don
What's his name?
Pianta.
Don Pianta? It doesn't sound familiar, but
Okay.
I would recognize.
He's very iconic. He's wearing sunshades, right?
Okay.
He's a mafia boss, and you have to find him by basically giving out a secret password and entering a secret part of the parlor, the gambling part.
Whoa, he's one of those people from Super Mario Sunshine. Mm-hmm. He's not a spirit, but
Okay, so you've never seen this guy.
yeah, I have not.
Well, I love how they depict all of it. So Don Pianta, I'm not going to go into the story part of it. However, a more recent move Nintendo's done on remakes, and you probably remember this from Fire Red and Leaf Green.
Yeah.
They took out the gambling aspect of slot machines,
Right.
anything that's referencing
Right.
that.
Right.
So they did the same thing. It's a completely different sliding tiles game that isn't anything based on gambling.
Okay,
Right?
interesting.
So
What was it before?
I don't quite remember.
a
I
slot
remember it
machine?
being luck based, very luck based,
Might have been a
which
slot
that's
machine.
probably the whole thing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I'll look it up actually.
So new games, okay.
Yes.
Obviously, you saw it. Graphical changes were made to the game. Significant graphical changes, bro. It's
Right.
the floor is shiny, as you mentioned, right? It's all the paper crafting detail. It's not just an HD render. It's a complete recreation.
It's a new, yeah.
Yeah.
And the models look new too. if I'm
They're
not
they're
mistaken.
brand new. They're definitely improved as they go, but you can see if you look closely the detail on it. I mean, dude, didn't it look gorgeous?
It does
for
look so
not
nice.
being a 4K game.
By the way, it was a slot machine. So
It was a slot machine.
yeah,
There you go. Yeah. So they removed that.
They took that out.
But there's texture on Mario. There's
That's
texture
what I was gonna say.
on everything.
It looks like it looks more even 3-dimensional because the lighting kind of like gives them a shine around each side.
Yes.
And depending on where you stand, it'll like shine on your hand. Or like shine. I definitely recognize that.
It's beautiful, bro.
It does look nice.
The initial inventory has been increased from 10 to 15 items, which is awesome because, I don't know, I'm all about improving and, growing stronger and stuff. But sometimes the balancing is the thing, right?
Totally.
So it's not really fun to run out of item space so early on.
Right.
Like, you're kind of like, my bag's so tiny, right? So they did the same thing in, I think, Wind Waker, like HD, right? They increased the size, the wallet size.
Right.
Well, they did the same thing. They increased the maximum coins from $9.99 to $9,999.
9999.
Yes, sir. 9,999, which is awesome because it sucks to run out of coin space.
So it was originally 999.
Yeah.
Now it's 9999.
Yes. Okay. It's really easy to get coins. I already have like almost 300.
I think that's exactly what they did with Wind Waker.
Yeah,
right?
literally. They went from like 500 to 5,000.
Yes, it's
something like that.
Yeah.
Oh no, from 999 to 5,000.
To 5,000. Yeah. Because that one speed sale that you get at the auction house, that's like 1,000 something.
It's insanely expensive, and then also it's expensive as fuck for the Tingle stuff, the Tingle maps.
Yeah, the new stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. First impressions.
Yes.
Let's dive into
it.
Let's wrap up basically the impressions and the main topic here, which is basically I'll paint a picture.
Yes.
Kendall and I, we went through the first dungeon last night for our date night, actually. So we played it for a few hours, and then we shifted over to Seven Deadly Sins, starting off Season 4, right?
Peak after peak.
Peak after peak.
Yeah.
So there's so many tiny details that just are very apparent. Very, like, quality of life things that I didn't list out, right? You saw some of them. Like, it almost like gives you a warning before you actually drop into a area that could hurt you. In the original, they didn't have that, so sometimes just like you couldn't tell because of like the angle and like it's in 3D as a 2D game, and there's trickiness into like making sure everything is visible because it's a platformer at the end of the day, right? Or it has very good platforming elements, much better than Xenoblade.
Yeah, it's not a platformer. What would you call it?
Well, it's definitely a platforming RPG.
Right.
Because platforming is a massive part of the game, and it's just done masterfully.
Right.
Okay? So, they have really improved a lot of things. One of the things they added, tiny detail, voice blips. So when, like, characters are talking, it even, like every character from every species, but especially like the significant characters, there's like a very distinctive tone they have. It really reminded me of Animal Crossing and Banjo-Kazooie. You know what I mean?
Yes, I
very
would
iconic.
Say, Undertale and a lot of other indie games have that vibe. And actually, to mention
Undertale,
Monochrome again,
really,
it has its own original style, and it's like distinct. It's like Undertale, where it's like distinct to each character.
There's like audio blips. Like,
there's audio blips in the visual novel, so it's like
I didn't know that. Oh,
but
that's
it's
gonna
so
make me
satisfying sounding, and each character has like a different
So that is absolutely that is absolutely what's happening in Paper Mario.
I do love those.
So Kendall and I, we bought a bottle of wine and we were like just chilling out, and I was like, okay, maybe it'd be fun if I like just started like voicing over. It was just the narrator. There's a narrator who like talks sometimes, right? And he has his own kind of like blah, blah, blah. But I started voicing it over in my normal voice, and then it evolved to I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do like a Xenoblade level voice. And then I started doing it for every character, and it got to the point where we completed the entire first chapter, where I voiced over everything, and I was trying to make it kind of distinctive, right? I would like picture in my head a character like Koops. When you first meet him, he's like a big scaredy cat. And a part of his whole chapter 1 journey in saving, following up on his dad, trying to save him, and then like defeating and avenging him. He grows, and he's not really a scaredy cat anymore. He's hesitant, he's reserved, but he's not a scaredy cat. So like at the beginning, it was like, Mario, I wish I could join your party, like it was just very like different. And then when it evolved to like the end, I was picturing Ryan in my head, right? It was like, oi da, what are you doing in there?
I love it.
Dude, it was actually so fun. Kendall was laughing So we both were like crying, laughing the whole time. It has changed the game for me. I almost pictured like it was like us streaming, almost like an entertainment value, right? But it's just the two of us.
I love it. That's definitely the vibe of It's so funny when I remember these characters. I remember their voices from Game Grumps because they did the exact same thing.
That's what I'm talking about.
Did the voices of everyone, and I was trying to remember. Coops, I like voice like this. Hey, I'm Coops. You know, he had like that kind of voice.
Okay, I didn't know they did that for everything.
Yeah, they did.
That
is
everyone. Awesome.
Yeah, they did that for everyone, and I remember, it literally sticks with me when I think of their voices. But yeah, it's
I was so it ends. You know how like the end of each chapter, it ends with a Peach element and a Bowser element that you play as both.
Yes,
which is also amazing and a very fun little like quirk that further goes with the writing because the Bowser elements are some of the best written Mario writing ever. I was legitimately, as I was voicing it over, laughing out loud. Actual comedy in this game, right? It's peak. It's actually peak. It is magnum opus, my guy.
Magnum opus peak.
So it was a lot of fun, and I wanted to say that.
That's
and
cool.
I'll keep you updated. Yeah, and so it ends with the Peach element, right? And it like has the computer, right? His name's Tech, right?
He like falls in love with her, right?
Yeah, right off rip. So when he's talking, I was literally picturing Elvis in his like alpha form, right? And he's like, "Hello, I'm Tech, the master computer.
Let me show you.
I need to be perfect. I need to understand. What is love?" Like it just good. Getting in character even more. I love it. Yeah, I absolutely loved it.
Good stuff.
There's new added animations.
Oh yes.
So in battles and in like when you're walking around, you can see the backing. You used to not be able to see that.
Are you sure?
Absolutely positive. They added that later in the series.
You couldn't hit behind you?
No, you could, but the animation just showed it from the side. So it always showed from the front, and it always showed left to right.
Right.
That's true in the first and second Paper Mario. Yeah, so even you could tell you're walking backwards, but it would be like you're like, you're still facing forward and you're just walking backwards. Right. I don't think maybe Mario they added the backwards on just him, but the partners they did not. You could not see the back of the partners.
I think you could flip around. I'm pretty sure.
I don't remember.
I don't know either.
But the back of the partners is definitely jarring. You can also hit directly in front of you and directly behind you.
Yes.
Which that is brand new.
Yes.
You used to not be able to do that.
Yes.
So I think the back animations are completely new. I just don't even remember seeing Mario's back. I remember him like always facing forward, if not mistaken. Right. So the original one, absolutely true.
Yes.
You only saw the back of him when you did like the flip.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but there's even more like facial animations.
Yeah.
Mario's facial expressions are so funny.
Yeah, he's also so cute. He's so cute. So much. Yeah.
And it shows like his nose.
When you go to
he
the
does
cliff.
like a piece. He does like a thumbs up.
Yeah.
It's so good. The writing.
Yes.
The last thing I really want to touch on is the localization in the writing.
Yes.
Which this came out in 2004 originally. Mm-hmm. So there were things that were a lot more like okay to say, and even then like the slang is different.
Yeah.
And because of how they just really went all out there, it's very original and it's very funny.
Yes.
Right?
It is. It's hilarious.
I am telling you right now that I am certain that this is probably 98% faithful to the original writing.
Interesting.
The writing is so good and they didn't like change it.
Yeah.
It is so original.
That is awesome.
One thing I noticed, like the only thing so far actually, is I don't know if you remember, but the first boss, Hooktail, he has a weakness. Do you remember that?
I don't remember exactly.
It's a sound. Something grosses him out.
What sound?
Hooktail is lore-wise a big dragon that is vicious and just wants to. It terrorizes the Koopas by eating them, literally, and toads, right? But it can't stand crickets. So that is its weakness. You get a cricket-sounding badge in the first dungeon.
And then if you swing that...
So when you battle him, he gets weaker, and he has defense, and it drops, and his damage drops if you attack with the badge on.
Oh, wow.
They changed that in the remake. It's not cricket, it's frog.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That was the thing you had.
That was the sound.
Why change it?
I asked myself the same question, and I'm like, why the heck would they change that? I haven't looked it up, but initially my thought is the cricket was annoying as fuck. Like, really? Seriously, it was like, it was so loud and obnoxious.
I'm looking up right now.
But I don't know if there's some kind of like real world lore implication or something like that. I have no idea, right?
Interesting.
But the frog is a lot more satisfying. I will tell you that much.
It just sounds better. I mean,
it just sounds a lot better.
When you were doing it earlier, it sounds nice.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't sound annoying at all.
It's not annoying.
Yeah.
So, the writing is peak, and I'm reminded right now, especially with the voiceovers, just how good it is.
How fun it is.
That is all I really have to say on the game, and I'm very much enjoying my playthrough, especially with doing it with somebody, because I've already experienced this myself so much.
It's the best way to redo something is by watching it or experiencing it with someone else.
Yes. And for anyone out there, seriously, and for you, Joshy, this is a top tier recommendation from me for a hidden gem of a game that in my mind you have to remember this came out in 2004 and that's not in a way of like, I don't know, talking about me and Johnny Metal Gear Solid 1.
Yeah.
It's legitimately like archaic and tough to play. That is not this game. This game is just a hidden gem that you didn't even know existed.
Interesting.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, man. It's making money too.
Yeah, dude. I hope so. I hope it does really, really well.
Making big money.
Nintendo is doing all the right things in my eyes. Joshy,
I agree.
Let's jump to our class trial. Are
Let's
you down?
get it.
Yeah,
yes,
it's about 7:38. This is gonna wrap perfectly, I think. Okay. And then we gotta eat, and you gotta clean.
I gotta eat and clean.
All right.
So
you have some trivia?
I do.
Yes.
I actually have some very fun trivia, and this is kind of a throwback to something we did earlier, but very different.
Yeah.
So as you remember, back on our it was Project Dolphin episode. I titled it The Quiz Thwomp because in Paper Mario there's a character called the Quiz Thwomp who gives you a Thwomp quiz.
Yeah, he's you know what fortress he's in? He's in the Schwamp Fortress.
The Schwamp Thorpe. I love that name. So I am going to test you.
Excuse me. All right.
The questions that he asked you, exact questions he asked you in the game.
Okay.
And if you can get this right, this supposedly was from Chapter 1, right? The first time he shows up.
And then he shows up again.
Yes, he does.
Yes.
Yes, he does.
I'm ready. I'll do it live.
So, yeah, let's do it live.
Let's do it.
And also, if you get one wrong, I'm going to make the thwomp sound.
Yeah, perfect.
And I'm going to smack your hand, okay?
Okay.
So you got to have your hand right here, okay? Everyone, Sam's hand is right next to us. And I'll do a test.
Yes.
Go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
Sound good?
Yeah.
Even if it shakes.
Yeah, you can.
You
hear
should
the
hear
shake.
it. Yeah,
exactly.
You should hear it.
All right.
Alrighty.
Let's hit it.
Should I do a voice or no?
Yeah, absolutely.
Alrighty.
Absolutely.
Question number 1. What's hidden in Schwank Fortress?
It is the moon. I'm sorry. It is the moon and sunstones.
That is absolutely correct.
Correct.
Alrighty, question number 2.
Let's do it.
Let's see. Okay. Ready?
Yep.
What is the name of the mayor of Petalburg?
What are my options?
You want options?
Yes.
Because he doesn't give you options.
No, he does. It's all multiple choice.
Does he?
Yeah. But if you don't off the top of your head, I have to wing it. And I'm going to say...
I'm going to make it hard for you because you just played it in the game.
Yeah, it's
I'm
true.
going to make it hard.
I'm going to say... Birtle.
Who was it? It was Kroop.
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 That makes sense because he's kind of a creep.
He's kind of a creep.
So I should remember that. Okay.
Alrighty. And this is going to be hard then. This will be fun because I don't want to do multiple choice.
Yeah, no, that's perfect.
That'll give you too many ideas.
You should test me. I should be able to get all of these, so.
Tell me now, where is the Crystal Star?
I have no excuses. The Crystal Star is in Hooktail's Castle.
That is correct!
Does it make a sound?
Yeah,
Ding,
well,
ding,
it has a background, and it goes ding, 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 with a circle when you get it right,
Ding,
and it goes
ding, ding, ding.
when you get it wrong.
Okay,
yeah,
cool,
a big
cool,
red
cool.
X.
I'll do that then, and then I'll go.
Think like America's Got Talent.
Okay, got you. All right.
Question number 5 or 4. Now, wait. How can one get to Rougeport?
It's Rogueport, right?
Rogue.
It's Rougeport.
That's what I call it.
Rougeport get from Rougeport to Petal Meadows?
The underground sewers.
It's a simple answer. It's very simple. How do you get to the underground?
Pipe.
Yes. Ding, 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 ding. Let's go. Let's go.
Which of the following...
It's which of the following. Shit. I don't know how to do that one.
You can skip it if you want to.
Yeah, but there's
What's
only
the
one
question
more after that. Actually, I'm gonna give you multiple choice on this one. Actually, no. This doesn't have to be. You'll know this. You'll know this.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Which of the following characters,
not multiple choice,
right,
can be found in Petalburg?
The species in Petalburg.
I think it's species. I mean, it's Koopa Troopa.
That's right.
Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding. Let's go. One more after this.
Okay.
Oh boy, this is fun.
What?
This is the final question.
Okay.
What number question is this?
4.
Is that your final answer?
Oh no, it's 5.
What? I'm actually not kidding. Both of those were wrong.
No way.
That was question number 6. This question.
What?
We asked 5 questions. The last one was number 5.
I already forgot.
Yeah, I made that one hurt on purpose. And that is the end of chapter 1.
That's the end of
Thwomp
chapter 1.
Quiz. And once you beat the game, there are more Thwomp Quiz questions. And
Yes.
I'm thinking I'll use those for trivia next time.
Next time, okay.
So,
yeah.
To tally those up, you got... Actually, I think
I got 3.
Let's see.
No, I got 4.
I
I got 4. I got
you
pounded
got
twice.
The first one...
Yeah, I got 4.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait. Let me see. I think it was 4. I'm just going to count them. First one you got correct. That was the Sun and Moonstones. You missed number 2, Croup.
Croup.
You got Hooktail Castle. So that's 2.
Yes.
You
Pipe.
got Go Through a Pipe, which is 3. You got Koopa, and that was 4. So yeah, 4.
Yeah.
4 out of 6.
Got it.
Not bad. Not
Baby.
bad.
Thank
Return
you,
of
Joshy.
the Quiz Thwomp.
Yes. All
sir.
right.
Yes, sir.
Joshy, let's wrap as we do with
wrap it up.
our Proverb Spotlight
Let's
of
get
the
it.
week, as
Let's
inspired
get
by
it.
the legendary Uncle Iroh
Of course.
himself. I thought I actually had a fun kind of a thing. Like, I wanted to take it from Paper Mario because the writing is so good.
I love it.
And there was so much that so many one-liners in that game that it was hard
yeah.
to choose. So I actually just compiled some really good one-liners
Okay.
because the game isn't really deep.
Yeah.
So there's not really these big emotional takeaways in the same vein as what we've done in the
You
past.
probably could have from the computer though. I feel
Probably.
Like he's got some.
No, you're
got
absolutely
some
right,
bangers.
actually.
He does
But
have some bangers.
I wanted to just show you a variety of the writing, okay?
I like
So
that.
the first one is coming from Goombella.
Okay.
When you tattle the Twilight Town gatekeeper, she says, "That's the gatekeeper. Every town has one, because if they didn't, you could just go wherever you want and beat a game so fast."
That's funny. I like that.
Right. Number 2 is Bowser. Who just has some of the best lines, to be honest with you. "Great. Now I'm the king of guys who talks to posters."
I like that.
That's when in the second chapter you play like the actual like side-scrolling Super Paper Mario style, and then you bombard into Petalburg because he's always like one full chapter behind Mario, right? And he eventually catches up, but you're like going to it after the fact, and it just how everyone treats you, and you're massive, and everyone's like screaming and running everywhere, and everything's on fire.
Right.
So you like walk into a house and you see a picture of Peach, but he's like, "Peach, I finally found you. You're here." And then a Koopa comes up and is like, "That's mine," runs in the house, grabs the poster, and runs out. And Bowser's sitting there with his eyes dropped open and a tear in his eye, and he's like, "Great. I'm the king of a guy who talks to posters." So good.
That's funny. I like that.
Number 3 is also Bowser.
Yes.
"I don't know anyone named Gonzalez. Stop speaking in riddles, you chicken nugget."
That is when
That's like the best insult you can give someone.
it's the best insult.
You
It's
chicken
Rock
nugget.
Hawk,
That's
which is
funny.
the boss of the 5th area with
Yeah.
Yoshi, right?
Yeah.
And he literally calls Mario Gonzalez, and he's been the toughest enemy,
Right.
like depicted physically
What
so
chapter is he
far.
from?
He's from chapter 5.
Okay.
When you go to
Is
the
that with Yoshi with the fighting arena?
Yeah, the fighting arena.
Yeah.
So he's the king of fighting.
Yes.
Okay, but you find out he's a fraud, but he is strong.
Right.
But his title's a fraud.
Dude, I remember that.
Yes, dude.
Yeah,
So
crazy.
he always calls Mario Gonzalez because that's like his OG name in the fighting arena. Also a piece of lore that's so dope, right?
it.
So you're Gonzalez, and so he comes up to Bowser and he's like, no, you're gonna have to go through me to fight Gonzalez. And he's like, I don't know anyone named Gonzalez. Stop speaking in riddles, you chicken nugget. Because he's a fucking bird.
I love it.
Number 4 is, I did it. I defeated the Chestnut King. Then I came back to Rougeport and I had a light lunch.
Who is that?
That's Luigi.
Oh,
when you're talking to
right.
him and you're getting the lore, because every
Right.
time you beat a chapter,
Right.
you passed him. Luigi's
And then
standing there,
he's back in.
and he gives you a brief summary of his adventure.
Because he's going
Which
through his own.
He has a parallel adventure.
Right.
It is like the same thing,
That's so
but
funny.
just a meme. Okay,
love it.
It's always a meme, and all of those came from Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door. And with that being said,
love
Joshy,
it.
that is a official wrap for episode
Yeah, what time is
40.
Ah.
We had a
Sooner
4-hour and 48-minute cast.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, that was great,
There you
bro.
go.
Yeah, including
There you
our
go.
pregame
The
section.
pregame, which was a long one, too.
I love this. This was great. And
Yeah, this was great.
I feel a lot better that it was earlier.
This was great.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
I felt like it was very casual. Did you like, I want to know, before we wrap up,
Yes.
the new format?
I hated it. No, I'm just kidding. No, I actually really like it. I like sprinkling in those questions.
Yeah.
Especially when we mention someone's name, and it's like, well, speaking of.
I
I like that. That's really cool.
Hell
If we
yeah.
can keep doing
Cool.
that, I don't mind at all.
Yeah.
And I think it's great.
Yeah, do you
I'm
feel
loving
like a hole from missing Retro Recap, or do you feel like it's
No,
a good
no. To be
pace?
honest, I mean, if there is something so important in Retro Recap, I feel like we would talk about it.
Absolutely.
You
Like,
know what
I feel
mean?
like, for me too, like, I've always looked back on a history list.
Yes.
But this week it was like, I'm just taking, like, we had a lot of retro content, but it's
Right.
all headlines.
Right.
So if something is important, we'll talk about it.
We'll talk
Yeah, I'll
about
bring
it,
it
no
up.
question.
We have that pop topic for
Yes.
a reason
Yes,
now.
and I think the news just takes a good segment for that because it tells us where we're at right now. It gets
Exactly.
us excited still.
Yeah.
So yeah, no,
Yeah,
I'm,
cool.
I'm perfect.
I
with
feel
it.
like
I'm perfect.
the way I see it now, instead of, it used to be like, I was like, how many segments can we squeeze into this?
Yes.
And at one point we had 8 segments.
I was
okay?
also gonna
Now it feels like we have 3 plus
Right.
pregame.
Plus
Because we
pregame.
have pregame, then we have our starting section,
Right.
which we sprinkle in pop topic, and
Right.
we could also put in all of the community aspect.
Right.
Then we have the news, and then we have the main topic, and we wrap with the like a fun trivia on the way out.
Right.
You know?
And I also hope you know if I feel like there's something I want to report, I will.
Yeah.
Like I'll mention it while
I hope
we
so. Yeah.
have that stuff.
And I trust
So-
you also, like you brought up monochrome at a specific point in the cast. Like, I feel like that's exactly how you should do it. When it comes
Right.
to you, when you feel like it's
feel
necessary,
like it's
just
necessary.
interject it.
Yeah, that's what I did. And I think it's
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah. Perfect.
I think
All right.
we're good.
Let's
Let's
wrap
go,
right
baby.
there,
Wrap
Joshy.
it up.
That is a wrap for this week's episode
Yes.
of the Flash Brothers
Yes, it
podcast.
is. Yes,
My
it
friends,
is.
thank you for joining us and being a part of today's voyage. Joshy, let's plug one last time.
Plug it.
Don't forget to send your listener submissions for next week's episode, or
Yes.
respond to the Spotify Q&A.
Please do.
Patreon.com.
And we almost. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean
Oh
to
yeah,
cut off
no,
the
that was
mid-thing.
perfect. Yeah, we're all just flowing, right? We just.
I was
talk.
gonna say we basically had our own segment today because of a question.
Yes.
That it was Caleb, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Caleb had.
Yes.
So
And Johnny.
please feel free, exactly, and Johnny too. Feel free to write in because we will shift the podcast around our people.
Dude,
that you're a part of the
absolutely.
conversation.
Yes.
You
Yeah,
know?
you guys are actually framing the framework of like
Yes.
the flexibility of our content. So
Absolutely, you
we
are.
appreciate that so much.
So much.
Let's continue. Patreon.com/FlashBrosPodcast. And you can send us an email, flashbrospodcast@gmail.com. As always, thanks for cooking with me today. Of
course,
my
bro.
brother, grateful as hell for you.
Oh, of
seriously,
course.
every week we
Dude,
do
me
this.
too. Grateful
it's
as a mug.
yeah, it's a privilege.
Yes, it
I'll
is.
say that much.
It is a privilege for me as well, Samuel.
My man, last
man.
call. My friends, we'll see y'all next week. Be safe, spread love, enjoy your weekend.
And don't forget to Paper Mario 1000-Year Door. Never forget.
Honestly, chicken nuggets.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh my gosh, we have Chipotle.
Yeah, dude.
Let's get in.
Let's go.